Happy New Year!
Happy New Year, everyone!
Happy New Year.
And welcome back to Fate's End, a homebrew Dungeons & Dragons game driven by Fate. I will be your tail weaver for the evening, and I think I'm going to have to clean my glasses during the recap here, because I'm just noticing how dirty they are. But yes, let's get into our announcements. First of all, we want to shout out Tabletop Audio at tabletopaudio.com for the ambience and music we use from time to time. All this audio is amazing and completely free to use in your own games, but please consider supporting Tim on Patreon so he can continue to make amazing sound sets. We currently support him and encourage you to do so as well. We'll put a link to his website in chat. We also want to shout out Joint Chiropractic. With all the stress of fighting monsters, even adventures, even adventures need adjustments to keep the magic flowing. Visit one of the Joint Chiropractic's 700 nationwide clinics, where they aim to provide affordable and convenient chiropractic care to all communities. Answer the call to adventure and get your first examination, consultation, and adjustment for only $29. We also want to shout out Nine Realms Gaming. They create top-notch gaming accessories from the finest woods this realm has to offer. You can visit ninerealmsgaming.com and use our exclusive partner code LIAR10 to get 10% off. We also want to shout out Mithril Armory. They create unique tabletop RPG items for everyone to enjoy on their adventures. You can grab their Tin 20. My cast is about to show it off for you on screen. And you can also grab some really cool D&D graphic tees on their website now at mithrilarmory.com. The Tin 20 comes... Let me get mine. Because we gotta show you... There we go. It's like green screen. It comes flat wallet size, so you can put it in your wallet and assemble it on the go for initiative wherever you may be. Very cool. We also want to shout out Sirenscape for the ambient sounds, music, and their online player that we use on stream from time to time as well. Stargazer's Guide to Rory, of course, is on our website at inkandlyre.com and on DriveThruRPG, where you can also grab our Astral character sheets, NPC star charts, and our Astral Game Master Suite that includes an initiative tracker, magic item maker, and printable condition markers. So check that out now. And just a reminder, of course, that all of Fate's End's episodes are in podcast format, so you can catch up on, gosh, I'm sorry. I keep getting like this thing in my throat here. I should have probably muted myself for that, but I don't know. I feel like we're all close enough now that it's fine. But yes, Fate's End is in podcast format, and you can catch up on all of those episodes as well. And we'll put a link to that in chat. Outside of that, today is a really big day, not because of any kind of holiday that I will acknowledge right now, but because today is the start of Arc 6 of Fate's End, which means in a few moments we're going to be doing alignment assignments again. So with that being said, Esperise is going to do our recap. The time has come. Let us draw our cards for tonight's episode of Fate's End.
You've got us just in the nick of time. We are making our way to the material plane. No, of course, I do. I have just a moment while we are preparing the transportation. And naturally, I have time. Please, sit down, and I will tell you everything that happened last time on Fate's End. Last time we left you, I believe, was when we were seeking the pomegranate in the land beyond the wilds. Yes, well, it sounds more dignified than it actually ended up being. What we found was, the great tree with the single fruit that we had to sing to make grow, if you remember. And we found that this pomegranate was greatly prized by these little puffball things with long legs and big mouths, and they were very hungry, I suppose. And I think we handled them fairly well. None of us wanted to murder them, of course. Well, Luton might have wanted to, but he did end up choosing the non-lethal option. Akren ended up doing sort of a neat thing with the turning of the Fae. And Luton and we did this sort of, I think it's called a combo move, a dual maneuver, where he built a cage of thorns around the tree and I lit it on fire, and we couldn't really see what anyone was doing outside of the on-fire cage, but I believe everyone else was making their exits, except that Finn, who was making friends. But I did finally get the pomegranate.
Pop that thing off with her other hand. She's going to gesture to, I think she was riding a butterfly on the way over here, just
Hello, sweetheart. Could you come over here for a moment? When I was finally holding the fruit in my hand, it was overwhelming, I suppose. The others were having some conversation about, I think, the seeds and what we were going to do with the seeds, and yes, we made our way back to Grobbles with the fruit in hand, and we encountered there some sort of very sad troll creature that really tugged on people's heartstrings, I suppose. While they were being good Samaritans, I made my way inside to talk to the vintner himself. I don't know the first thing about creating wine, but I knew that I did not want to leave him alone with the fruit. Obviously, it was very dangerous for him, and that was a large part of it. Anyway, Finn and Luden were still outside making acquaintances with fairies, I believe. I heard a little bit of it afterwards. I wanted to stay up through the night with the Grubbles. I planned to stay up the night. Luden decided that wasn't going to happen. He came at some hour of the night and said off to bed, and he's very kind to me still, in a way that I might not altogether deserve. Akrin is kind too. He is a different sort of person than I am, but I very much admire him. He came to me to speak.
We are Enders, Etheries. To me, that there are two kinds of Enders. There are defenders and offenders. I'm not telling you to spare him, and I'm not telling you to kill him. I'm asking you, are you defending or are you offending?
I did not have an answer for Akren. To him there, asking me if I was a monster, as if, of course, the answer was going to be no. I didn't have anything to say to him. I went to bed. I went to Finn's bed, and I asked him what I needed to know.
And yeah, sure, I do care about some of the random things we come across, like, the cake in Mimi's dream, or, the little fluffy things we found, but they're innocent. Helianthus isn't. And what comes his way, he asked for it.
Finn is very short. Still, I like that he makes me feel small. He's very warm, and I like to sleep next to him. He does sleep in longer than I do, though. When I woke in the morning, there was a bottle of wine beside our cot, which I slipped into his arms, knowing it was some sort of birthday thing. I believe Finn now has 3 birthdays, but I'm not altogether sure. Anyway, I went and got my own bottle of wine, a specially made one. Finlay made us breakfast. He did make it with the memory wine, so it was not quite to my taste on an ethical level, but folks seem to really enjoy it, and I do so like how Akrin and Finlay are getting along. With the breakfast in our stomachs and the wine in hand, I was filled with, a sort of surety that I do not often have. I felt full of purpose as we went to my father's estate. The servants led us into the foyer, and my brother was there, of course. But Helianthus is your father, and he is a cruel man, but there must be some moment somewhere where he looked out at the estate together, or he taught you to play some kind of game, or you laughed about something. If you have any memories with Helianthus that make you happy, I would ask you to hold on to them. Helianthus accepted us into his study, where we spoke. He did not bother me anymore. Now that I knew what I had to do, it was as if I was a fish and he was a pool, or I was a flower and he was the soil. There is nothing he could do to keep me from moving through him and getting what I want. I suggested a toast, and then we drank, and we drank, and we drank. As long as it took.
He will kind of like do the pretentious thing where he swirls it, smells it, you know. And he looks at the color and he just kind of like tilts it back in the sun and he will take a sip. And he kind of leans back. This is rather good. I'm afraid to say that you bringing it, I'm sorry, who are you again?
Things always seem much more sure before they happen than afterwards. After I am always struck with, well, it is past. Now you are trapped here in your own decision. Don't you wish you had made no decision at all? You have taken your brother's father. But Avriel did not feel that way. I am going to return to my brother. I do not want to leave the material plane. I do not want to leave Arete. I don't want to leave Asteria, but I will be with my brother again, and I'm going to make it work, you know? My brother took my hand and led me to a pool in the garden, looked over by flowering trees and buds of buttercups and wind that carried petals, and I knew what we had to do. Sometimes you are so full of radiance that you must cry. My mother told me this when I was a little girl. When she said it to me, it was because I skinned my knee trying to fly too high, or I burned myself with tea that I shouldn't have been drinking yet. It was caffeinated. It's not safe for children, but I miss her. I have missed her. And I will miss her forever. But I am so happy she is free, and that I can live a life that had her in it.
Elven woman. Her features hard to make out in great detail as the wind distorts her silhouette slightly with each pass of the breeze. But one thing is for certain. She's smiling at you and your brother.
Hello, Mama.
Her smile brightens as you speak out to her. I heard your call, love. I am ready to walk with you.
As her mother's body, as it is made of petals and flowers, begins to almost dissipate and float upon the water as they walk further and further into the pool, and she can still, even as they submerge completely, as her mother dissipates into the water, into Feywild and the plains beyond, she is still walking with her mother. And she always will be. And she is able to let her go.
Happy New Year!
And we
Years are near.
are back. That actually has been, if you are new to the stream, that is the final arc intro that has been used for the first time in this campaign, which we're very excited about. But before we get into tonight's episode, it's time for our alignment assignments and card facings because, like I said before, this is the first episode of Arc 6. And not only that, this is the final arc of Fate's End, and it absolutely blows my mind that we are coming to the end of this campaign, and gosh, it's been it has been such a journey so far, and it is not over yet. So, regarding starting a new arc, for those of you who are new, this is something that we like to do in our homebrew games that may be a little bit different from you all at home. Our players, instead of kind of like rigidly conforming to an alignment that they choose, play their character naturally and channel their backstory through thoughts and feelings and decisions that you make, because in the real world, people change over time based on those decisions, character growth, and character development. Therefore, at the end of each story arc, I end up assigning an alignment based on how I feel each player is playing the character. Again, it's not rigid. They aren't forced to play that alignment moving forward. It's simply just a fun outsider opinion that I give my players. So let's get started. I put a lot into these. I'm excited to share them with you guys. So, let's start. Of course, I think I've done the exact same order every time that I've done this, but let's start with Finali. Finali! A lot has happened in this arc. I think the most profound decision that Finali made, and I know that get ready for the reactions on camera here from everyone, but the most profound decision Finali made was when he decided it was a good idea to travel into his dreams by dreamwalking, not just by himself, but by taking Praeria with him. And this reckless decision put both him and Praeria in grave danger that almost killed them both, as well as the party.
We didn't though.
Yeah, we actually were really good.
There, in that dream, they were faced with the avatar of Vera, and were nearly consumed by the air of night, one of the 7 of Severance. Outside of that, throughout this arc, you have made some other minor but very character-defining decisions. You gave the equivalent of a nuclear Roman candle to a minor.
Wait, what?
You remember
spells.
you gave the,
I
the
did!
wand of wonderment
Wonder!
to essentially a minor.
She deserved it, though. I feel like she was ready for that.
You saved piranhas who would have gladly consumed you. And lastly, you left a pig in charge of Saltstone Keep. Therefore, you have moved from chaotic good to chaotic neutral.
Yeah! My final evolved form. This is what I've been wanting.
Your tarot is mostly upright throughout this entire campaign. I feel it's now reversed, though. Your faith in the V, it feels like Finali might be questioning it after he told you he could no longer see you face to face once you went to the Feywild. The star reversed is often a test of faith. In the final arc of Fate's End, your faith will be tested quite a bit. Samson. Samson continues to be major support for the rest of the members of the party. He thinks about what is right for all, what is right for his friends over himself. Needs themselves are put before wants, sacrifice. But there is a fire that Samson plays with, a fire he does not fear. We saw this when he threw a dagger at Elrixis' face in the Fey prison. We saw this when he paid the price for the Air of Night. He follows his own code. He never really breaks it willingly, and may in the end, as he's done so often to protect others, become a martyr for it. For all these reasons, I believe Samson has finally shifted from neutral good, which he has been, I believe, this entire campaign, with all the alignment assignments. I believe he's shifted from neutral good to lawful neutral. In regards to his...
Welcome to the winner's zone.
Wow. Shocking. Shocking change of events here.
In regards to his tarot card, the Chariot, he continues to be upright. In this final arc, now isn't the time to be passive in hope that things will work out in your favor. You must take focused action and stick to the course no matter what challenges may come your way, because I promise you, there will be challenges. As the Chariot, you must draw upon your willpower and hone in on what's essential to you so you can push past the obstacles in your way. You will need this, and so will your friends.
Some of you may die, and that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make because I only care about what I think now and forever.
Such willpower.
Asperies. Where do I even start? The walls she had fortified for so long began crumbling down in this arc. She was reunited with her brother. We saw how she felt about Theywine. We saw how utterly protective she was when Helianthus held both her brother and her mother captive. It took guards and the entirety of all of her friends to pull her back and calm her. One who has always held a level head of calm, and in these few moments, her walls came tumbling down. She was patient, calculated, and every step of the way while in the Feywild, she made sure to think out each and every step. She is good, but she is not shackled by order. She sees good where she can, but knows evil can exist in the most ordered place. For all these reasons, in the last and final decision Esperise made with her father, this is the big turning key right here. Because this was very difficult for me to decide. I believe she has shifted from lawful neutral to neutral good. This was very hard. I almost kept her at lawful neutral, but the mercy that she showed with her father was the reason she shifted.
Thank you, Daniel.
In regards to her tarot card, Death, she has finally shifted upright. Death upright symbolizes the end of a major phase or aspect of your life that you realize is no longer serving you, opening up the possibility of something far more valuable and essential. You must close one door to open another. You need to put the past behind you and part ways, ready to embrace new opportunities and possibilities. All these things were clear as we saw Esperise say goodbye to her mother and how she dealt with her father. Death is the most feared and misunderstood of all the tarot cards, because no one knows what's on the horizon, and in this final arc, there is much to fear.
Why is mine a warning? Oh, I'm scared. Okay.
It's a fun time.
Ludin! Again, where do I even start? Ludin had a heart-wrenching moment, returning home, his farm home, only to burn it down. To start anew, he said goodbye to his mother and to his birth home, and gave his mother happy memories of Theywine. And while Ludin didn't have many major focal moments outside of those, he did carry out some interesting decisions in this arc. He stole cursed artifacts from the Mother of Hags, and made a new friend, Cynthia, who is Ascending? I'm not really sure. Things are happening with Cynthia. He snuck back into Helianthus' library and swiped the rest of the memory-zapping Feywine. He is very focused on his mortality and goals, which makes sense for him. He cut hair from his party members for Cynthia, and you gave chocolate to a gaggle of children to spread chaos throughout the celebration. Ludin is still motivated by his own interests, but knows that order protects him. He seeks to achieve his own ends, but through order, not chaos. Even when boiling with anger, he is more likely to carefully plot revenge than to risk death through hasty actions. Sometimes, revenge will take years to happen, and that is acceptable, and therefore I think Ludin remains lawful evil.
Have you considered that I love him?
In regards to his tarot card, he continues to be reversed. Sometimes, tarot addresses the past, the present, and sometimes the future. The devil remains reversed for what is to come. For the deepest, darkest places and decisions are to come. The ones Ludin must make, whether he's ready or not. Praeria. Praeria, this past arc was your arc. And what an emotional roller coaster ride it was. We journeyed to the Feywild and saved all 11 members of your family. We razed Elrixis' estate to the ground and saved all the servants that worked within. You took up your mantle and spoke before those who fought for you. You made all the hard decisions with regards to one last decision this evening, telling Gwyn that you're leaving. Again. You reclaimed the Gloaming Court and freed its people from the tyranny of the Shade Witch. And more importantly, when asked in the end of those moments, you paid the price for the severe duress. Therefore, Praeria shifted from chaotic neutral to lawful neutral.
All right.
In regards to her tarot, her card is upright. The Hermit may appear in your life as a spiritual mentor, here to raise your vibration and enhance your consciousness. The beauty of this mentor is that, while they may be an expert in their own right, they will teach you how to find the answers within you. And Brandon is not here, but I'm going to do Akron as well. This is Akron's first alignment assignment, and Akron has been the shoulder this party has leaned on. So many conversations throughout this arc have involved asking Akron for his opinion and wisdom. Akron was there when Ludin burned down his home. Akron was there when Esperise was deciding what to do with her father. Barely knowing any of you, Akron threw himself heroically into Finalized Nightmare with all of you to risk life and limb after knowing you for 2 days. 2 days! He went with Samson and witnessed him throw a knife at Elrixis' face and almost died in the process. This mad party that he has saddled himself to, through and through, he has stayed with them despite the recklessness and danger, and gods only know why. I believe Akron is neutral good. He does the best he can, sees the good in everyone, even the Fae who drain the memories of mortals. He doesn't believe in judging a book by its cover. Devotion to the goodness in life does not require approval. Without a doubt, Akron's tarot is upright. He is in touch with his intuition. He shows compassion and understanding towards others because he has learned to understand his own feelings and emotions. The Knight of Cups is motivated by action. He dreams about what he wants but moves forward with this dream to make it a reality. All knights are on a mission. He is led by his heart and want to see peace for everyone involved. And those are your alignment assignments for the final arc of Fate's End. You're probably going to hear fireworks in the background for all of this evening.
Your mic's a little staticky, Lauren. Not sure why, but...
It might be the fan.
Oh, maybe.
I have a fan because I am sweating my butt off here. I can turn it off. That's probably why.
Booyah.
I turned
That's
it off.
better.
Yeah, it was the fan because I'm sweltering over here. The popping is the fireworks in the background. All right, let's get into tonight's session. We are going to start tonight back at Samson's estate as you all return from Helianthus's brain draining of sorts.
I think.
Yes,
I
yes.
don't think we are.
No?
Because I
Are we
think we're
not?
just going. No, yeah. I think we're going straight to Arli's teleportation portal. Right?
While I was busy sobbing by a pond, Samson was setting up the transport via plants.
Mm-hmm. And so.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You don't want to say goodbye to Gwyn?
Or Fallon.
I think we. Unless I'm mistaken, I think we already said goodbye.
Oh.
Do we want to go back and say goodbye to people? We can do that too. We can do both.
Or we can just leave without telling Gwen we're leaving. That is
No,
also an
I-
option that
we
will
absolutely
immediately
cannot.
change your alignment.
I will use, Frank could use one of her little telephone plants to make a call.
You're gonna make a call? All
I was
right.
gonna make a little phone call.
You plant one of those special little pods in the dirt, and it just kind of grows and it blooms and it begins to glow.
Yeah,
can
Prince
do
is
this,
having
Bray.
a little panic.
Rhea, is that you? I see that you found my flowers, unless it is someone else that stole my seeds. Is it you?
It is.
Oh, I'm so glad! When you come home, Merhead is making special baked good. Lots of mushrooms. I told her to make it special for you. She gave me funny look, but I don't know why. It might be because that I want to help and I don't usually want to help cook because I am not good at it. Rhea?
Hi. I'm still here. Good news. You can have extra portions of the special food today. Bad news. It will be mine.
But you love it. Why would you not want to eat Merhead's special food?
I do, but something has. You know how when I left home the first time a while ago, it was because
Yes, it was
There
terrible.
was-
I was very, very sad. And then I got kidnapped and taken away. But you came back and everything is wonderful again.
right.
I can do a cartwheel
was-
now.
Gwen, I need you to focus. I need you to pay attention to me right now, okay?
Okay, I focus.
Okay. I love you. But I had to leave.
Rhea.
I had to go because there was something terrible that was going to happen. And terrible things did happen, but there will be more. What I'm
Had to
trying
go.
to say that, yes.
But you don't have to go anymore. That was back then. This is now.
Well, that job isn't exactly finished.
What do you mean?
Well, back home on the other plane where we lived,
But
There
home
are
is where
still-
Gwyn is, Rhea.
It is. But, our last home. There are still terrible monsters, and if they win, the bad things that happened there will happen here too. So,
Then you must be here to protect family, Rhea. You don't go. They take care of bad monsters, and you stay. Because you
No,
queen
Gwyn.
now, and queen very, very strong.
Well, they are my friends. And you don't leave your friends. Right?
But you don't leave your family.
Look. While I'm gone, Merhead will be in charge, okay? And she will protect. And she will need your help. I will go and I will come back.
But you promised, Rhea.
I know.
You promised 3 times, Rhea. You left and came back, and left and came back 3 times, maybe 2, 3. I think it was 3.
And I'm sorry.
You keep telling Gwyn that you will stay.
I want to. But this isn't up to me. I made promises to you, and I made promises to my friends. And I'm trying to keep all of them.
Well,
But
I didn't even. It wasn't me who even suggested to make the special thing that I knew you would like. I didn't tell Mered to make it, even though I didn't. But you know what? I wasn't going to share with you anyway. I was going to eat it all myself, and you wasn't gonna get any, or I was going to help, and it was going to get burned, so it would have tasted terrible anyway.
Gwen, I love you. I love you and Merhed and Farhad and all of our brothers and sisters more than anything. And that's why I can't stay. But I know it doesn't help to say I'll always be with you, but I will. And it's all right if you're mad. It's okay to be mad. I want you to be mad because it's better than you being sad. But I promise when I get back, we can still have the special food, and I will eat it even if it's burnt, and it will be the best food I have ever had.
You hear a lot of sniffling and whimpering, and then there's no response. And the flower withers and turns to acid, burning holes in the dirt. And she doesn't respond.
Ray just kind of wrings her hands for a while and looks up to the sky. She doesn't know how she expected it to go, but She knows she has to do this, and maybe one day Gwen will understand. She just hopes that she can be around for that day.
The rest of you watch as this flower disintegrates. You hear Prearia's responses, and it's not too difficult to know who she's talking to, because Gwen's voice is blaring through it like a megaphone.
What do Pre's fingers look like right now?
That's a good question. Do you hide your fingers at all? Do you put gloves on, or are they just out there?
Yeah, they started turning into wood when they were back at Samson. She probably would have found some gloves.
Gloves, okay. All right.
She's not wearing her eye patch anymore, but she is now wearing gloves. And that is not suspicious or weird at all.
She's never worn gloves this entire time. She's not a proper furlbog, and yet now she wears them. They're what are they like? Are they elbow length?
That's a royalty thing. She didn't wear a crown before either. What do you want? What do you want?
Just like very regal, elbow length opera gloves.
I guess Luda's just thinking to himself, is she gonna need those when we're fighting? I guess they're magical. That's what they are. Like he's like, yeah, whatever, it's cool.
This is normal and fine.
No, it's fine.
So, is there anything else you would like to do before you cross over?
I'm over here enlisting Ludin's help with the ritual to do the transport via plants. So here's what I need you to do. Can you, and I take like a stick, and I draw something that looks like a treble clef in the sand right there in front. And I was like, can you draw this symbol on that side of the tree? But it's got to be very, very specific. Like, it's supposed to go the cardinal directions, like to where the portal is from where we are right now. Can you do that? You do it on this side, I do it on the other side.
Okay. Just pulls out my arrow and, hey, wait. This tree, it's not gonna like cut off all the tips of my arrows if I stab into it, right? Like this is not one of.
No, we're gonna be long gone before that's a problem. And I go on the other side and I start carving something too.
All right, I start carving a treble clef into a tree, facing the cardinal directions as instructed by Samson.
I'm gonna carve on my side. I'm gonna carve the silent "we're here," and just carve that.
All right, Luna goes like, "All right, you got your magical runes and stuff done over there. I think I got this one good."
Almost. I come back. I go check his. Like, no, that's not quite right. And then I drew a craft and like just get rid of it. Like, try it again, and like a little bit more angle. All right.
I feel like Samson, like, I don't know, Akron might be able to do this a little better. He has like tree knowledge.
Yeah,
he could probably talk
Akron,
to
you do one too, Akron. Come on.
Okay. We'll start again.
I'm gonna continue to do this and stall until Esperis arrives. Like, transport via plants is in action. I just touch the tree and we go. We don't need any of this. I take as long as I do that. I stall as long as I can to give Esperis and April as much time as possible to talk and be family before we have to leave.
It takes at least 45 minutes. I mean, we're having conversations about like, well, how are you going to run the estate? How do we want to split it between us? I mean, like fully things like, well, what if I start a family on the material plane? How would we do that? Things like that. How are we going to, what is our plan, assuming that I live? Getting into long conversations about what our future looks like and how we're going to fit each other into it. And also trying to stop crying, which takes some time. But she prestidigitates herself. And she prestidigitates her vestments so that she's no longer covered in pond water. And she will rejoin you guys, looking fresh as a rose and ready to go.
Okay, this is the one. Like, I know this is the one. Okay, like this is it. There's no other way. There's no other way. Okay. Oh, Esperise, come look at this. This is magical shiznit. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. Ludin will walk over to Esperise and goes like, "Is this not the most archaic rune thing?"
It looks very nice.
Thank you.
What is it?
I don't know.
You know what? It does look good.
I know. Thank you.
You know what? I think we can make that work.
Yes, we can.
Are you all ready?
Wait. I want to say something to Prey before we leave.
Okay.
So Finn's like sitting nearby pretending to read Revenier's diary, but he's not because he's really nosy and he's like listening in on the conversation. And so at the end of it, he'll get up and he'll just walk over and like give her a hug from behind. Just be like, I wouldn't be too worried about it. She just really loves you. That's why she's so upset.
She kind of turns around and like gives Finn a hug back. Thank you.
We'll make sure you get back to them. It's nice to have a family that loves you, right? It's something to live for, yeah? At the end of all this.
Yeah. She looks like she might say something else, but she just kind of lets it go.
Thank you for coming with us. I know you have a lot that you could stay for here, but thank you.
I would just be wringing my hands, wondering what was happening over there anyway. I'd be completely useless.
It's true. And then if you stayed, Samson would stay, and we'd probably all die because we really need you.
Thank you for making me laugh right now.
I think they're done. I don't know. Ludin's yelling a lot over there.
Oh,
I'm not doing it again. I promise you.
It's gotta be just right.
I'm not doing it again.
We should probably stop whatever that is.
Yeah. Guys, what are you doing? Are you done?
I'm about to walk back to the material plane is what's going on right now. Okay.
Yeah. As we all wrap up this conversation, I'm going to target a tree just outside of Aureli's portal that we know works with the keys that we currently have to go through it back and forth. And then I'm gonna touch the tree where Ludin's wonderful treble clef is. The magic seems to run through it in such a way that the portal between this tree and that tree opens, and we can all run through it.
Wait, we have to like run through it?
I push Finn through it.
We don't hold his hand!
It's 6 seconds. 6 seconds.
You are flung through the portal, Finalai.
Esperise walks delicately across the border. Thank you.
Esperise, your brother stands and watches you as you leave.
Esperise turns around and misses the window. No, she goes through. She goes through.
You see Finn lying face first on the ground.
Okay.
Dang, man, you've really got to work on your dexterity.
I feel so old. How long have we been gone?
This is not
still
the material plane.
Oh, okay.
And I will help him out.
This is like a layover.
It's like a layover flight.
It's just the pain of falling on the floor. And he's going to look over at Samson.
All I did was push you. You're the one who landed on the
hold
floor.
my hand.
All you did was push him. It's his fault he fell.
That's
It
right.
could have been really nice if all of us held hands and come back.
Why do you like to hold hands so much? Like
Because it's bonding.
Is your
It's bonding? We've been dying together for like the past ever at this point.
Yeah, but we haven't been holding hands enough. We've been dying more than we've been holding hands.
Okay.
And quite frankly, that's just sad.
Okay.
I agree. We should hold hands more.
See, the queen says we should, so we should.
Well, we're going back to the material plan where there's no queen.
Okay, but while we are holding hands, and I will take Finn's hand, where is your is she here? Is she facilitating or
She's not. This is a tree she has been by for a very long time. She's very far away from this thing. She had to guard it
here so much.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull out the keys and use them.
Yeah, I was about to say, she doesn't
open
have to be here, does she?
Do we want to take a minute to see if she left anything or?
You want to go through Arila's stuff?
Yeah.
We should probably not.
Let's not do that. Like, let's
Well, if
go.
she left it, she doesn't care about it that much, obviously.
We're right here.
What's Praise Eye doing? Is it looking around like, what are y'all doing to my stuff?
Yeah, it probably you do probably see it whirring around, like looking around, like almost a chameleon like.
Can you just face towards that wall for a minute?
She will, yeah, absolutely. She'll have no idea what's happening.
Yeah, what?
As like the eye rolls back into her head.
Use the other side.
It peels out to the other side.
Just mad eye Moody's it over here.
Okay, that's fair. Are we certain there's not anything we need to do before we?
We can always come back.
We stopped the war. We got your dad drained.
If we
I
take
think we
another
should not maybe say it that way.
We made friends with Fallon.
if we take another 2 years on the material plane, it'll only be a couple weeks, months here. So
Well, that's
we can always come back.
not precisely my worry, though it's very kind. I appreciate it.
Well, what's your worry?
Do we know what's on the other side now?
The only way to find that out is to go through, right?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, Ludin. We're like telepathic twins now.
Yeah, telepathic twins.
I think
Now,
I grab for his hand.
no.
I think the forest is still over there, right? Or like, is it the farm, or was it several hours from the farm?
It was a while from the orchard.
Yeah, the orchard.
I'm just a little bit nervous, that's all.
Don't be. We got this. And Ludi just stands like the Captain Morgan in front of the door. He waits for it to open.
He's so inspiring.
I go to put the keys in. I trace the treble clef symbol one time with my finger in the dirt, and then I use the keys. That have nothing to do with the symbol at all.
It's like, I'm learning magic.
The symbol begins to glow and the tree splits and begins to open. And you're met with a very cool breeze. It's very bright and you can't see until you step through. Who is proficient in Arcana?
No.
Esperise.
Hey, I should be now. I mean, I drew a treble clef like 12 times.
Esperise and Samson, as the portal begins to open, there is kind of like almost like a flicker along the portal. Like almost like glitch-like of sorts.
Is that something that feels like, oh, it's the wavering between time, or does it feel like, oh, this portal isn't working?
Ludin's already gone. So
Ludin's gone.
Yeah, he ran it.
You can take the time to examine it if you want, but Ludin's just ran right there.
Yeah. I'll stop Ludin if I can. Back 1 second. I might have drawn it.
Oh, he'll stop.
I might have done it.
You know, there's a trick to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Make
All right,
an
what's up?
Arcana check. Those of you who are
Can I give him advantage? I'm also looking at it, but I'm not as smart as he is.
If we do
Can my giving him advantage be talking about the treble clefs with Ludin?
I got a 17.
Okay. With a 17, you gather It's safe. It is safe. You know that for a fact that it is safe to travel through. It looks like there's like a surge of energy rushing through the portals between, like a surge of energy between the portals of the material plane and the Feywild, and then it kind of dims for a second, almost like a candle, and then it surges back.
We good?
I think so. Does it seem like it's on like it's like a rotating thing, like it's a cycle, like every 30 seconds or something?
Maybe.
Like, is it all,
you're not really sure.
Is it like alternating?
Like every so often it dims and it comes back?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something like that.
I could shoot an arrow through it.
No,
See
just
what happens.
wait for it to get a little dim, then go.
Come on, guys, it's dim!
And then I'll push him through, and then when it gets to him, when he goes through, I'll go through too. I think it's the day-night cycle on the other side. Like it's being day and then night and then day and then night.
I'm already on the other side.
But why didn't we see it flicker like that before on the other side?
Well, because on the Feywild, it's the everlasting sunset. And that has a day and night cycle.
Oh, okay.
But I'm on the other side too.
All right, let's go.
I guess we're just sitting there for like 30, 40 minutes until
Take
they come
Prey
in.
and Aphrisa's hand.
She kind of freezes a spin, takes her hand, but like it's too fast. They're gone.
It's like, I thought y'all weren't coming. It took so long.
Is
Lou
the
and I were there
sound
for
that is
days.
happening right now?
I think
What?
that's rain.
It's not quite the...
It's squelching.
It's supposed to be
no.
snow. It's not quite what I was hoping for.
I thought it was like static.
It's snow?
Here, let's try this
We're at
instead.
the wrong plane.
It's snow in the forest, so it's winter. I thought we were coming back at Luden's birthday.
That's when I was born. In the winter.
You were born in the winter?
In the snow.
I thought you were a Scorpio, bro. That's like
Hold.
October.
All right.
It snows in November.
So,
Yeah, where? In the mountains?
Wyoming.
In Aurora.
Yeah, Wyoming isn't a real place.
this
Shout out to our
works.
friend, our viewers in Wyoming.
Yeah, you're all fake.
This is a little bit better. This is a little bit better. This is a little bit better.
It's really
Okay.
cold. We're not even dressed for this.
Oh my God,
right.
Finn, we've been here for 2 seconds and you're already complaining.
I need a jacket.
You walk through and are immediately thrust into the cold. The warmth of the summer court disappears in a flash as snow crunches beneath your feet, and your breath is now visible before your face. The moon shines brightly above, leaving everything in a ghostly pale glow. The untouched snow glistens like thousands of diamonds, and all is quiet in the forest. You didn't expect to come back out here, wherever here is. But that is the way of the Fae sometimes, maybe? Or maybe it had something to do with the power surges at the portal. You're not entirely sure. Samson and Luden. With your passive investigation, the area looks familiar. But it's been so long you can't quite place your finger on it. Then you both look, and you see a small structure in the distance. It looks so familiar, but you're not sure what it is at this distance.
All right.
We've been here before, right?
Yeah. And Luden looks over, and all of a sudden there's a giant beard. And his hair is back to as long as it was before they left. Like, it's uncanny.
You immediately grow
a beard?
like the Santa Claus style. Praeria, you feel your wrists lock up a little bit. under your gloves.
The panics and starts feeling at her wrist.
Does she inch away from Finn's hand like, oh my god?
Yes.
I did not.
She like starts disguising it as like feeling hard, like, oh, this is so cold.
Yeah, I know, right? Finn's gonna lunge for her and trying to grab Luden's beard. What's that?
He will obviously try and dodge, I guess.
Where did that come from, Luden?
Don't touch me. It's like, it's not staying, and he'll immediately just short sword, just start cutting it off.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Yeah, it's fine.
Make
if I
a
get
sleight of hand check.
Cut myself a little bit, it's fine.
Can you prestidigitate a beard off, or
No.
The sleight of hand.
I want to specify. I believe Esperis and Samson look exactly
15.
the same.
15. Okay. We'll say the DC. We'll say you get that. The DC was 15, so you just.
Yeah, it's not a good job.
It's yeah.
Finn's trying to touch my beard, and I don't like that. So
You're bleeding right there.
Yeah, I like it that way. Let's go. He'll start walking towards the structure, kind of happy. He'll pop his bones a little bit though. So, a little bit older, but not much.
Does this structure look like an inn that once held a man who was very sad about his cabbages?
You have no idea. You have to get closer.
Oh my god. Okay.
I love that implication.
Luden gets closer. Actually, he'll sneak first. He'll approach cautiously. This world is different than the one we left, and there are 7 abound. And he doesn't know how crazy it is, so he'll probably sneak up and go like, all right, let's see what's going on.
Maybe we can ask if they have tea or something.
I'm doing the boyfriend thing of just full arms around the.
Is everybody making a stealth check here?
We'll just wait back here, right?
Yeah, let's
stealth. Like he has
stealth.
something he wants. Okay.
While chattering. He's chattering still.
Make a group stealth check then for me, please. Deanna, can you press Alt-C on your keyboard as well?
So Samson's gonna make his stealth check, and then as he's walking up to it, like real stealthily and like crawling, he's gonna think to himself, why don't we just go to Saltstone? I can just. He's thinking to himself, like, we can just walk through another tree now that we're on this plane.
Can we just do that?
All right, let me sneak up.
Whoa, bring up 14 on your stealth day.
Yeah.
I guess everyone
14.
is just absolutely super loud as Luden has a 22. He's just like, what are you doing?
Following you, chattering, shivering.
Finn's just like, I'm still cold.
It's really cold still. Thanks for your efforts, Esperis.
You all approach the structure and see it is quite small, but familiar. The smallest inn you have ever seen on your journey. The roof looks to be thatched underneath the piles of snow atop it. A swirl of smoke dances in the wind as you approach a large warm fire. The scent of the host's meal still lingers in the air, and your bellies ache with the anticipation of a nice hot meal on the mortal plane. And you watch as a man opens the front door and begins beating a rug. He looks up, because you are not stealthed at all, and sees you all and just grins ear to ear in recognition. He leans into the building and calls out and says, Saoirse! Saoirse! Come look and see who it is.
On the Deanna is always right, Tally. Yes.
Oh my gosh, Luden, it's the same tavern we met you at. Memories. Yeah.
You see the sign of the Wandering Walnut Inn, and you watch as the lovely Saoirse slowly walks over to the doorframe, her belly swelled to the brink with new life inside her. She almost glows with motherhood. She holds her belly, beaming back at all you. Look at you all! Look nearly the same last we saw you. What a surprise to have you! Please come in, warm you bet. Try our new stew. And you see the man just kind of scrambles to help Saoirse as she hobbles back inside. And he goes, Saoirse, you just sit. Keep relaxed with those swollen feet. I'll get the stew. And she's, I'll be fine, George, love. You fuss over me enough.
Aw, is this like your first kid?
Are you guys coming inside, or like they
Yeah. Yeah.
Hospitality, of course, and I'm just gonna herd everybody in.
You get herded. You all get herded into the Wandering Walnut, and you see George. He just scampers over and begins to dish out some stew, and Saoirse's just kind of sitting, and she kind of like rubs her ankles for a moment, and she goes, "Hi, this is my first."
Congratulations, this is a tremendous moment for you two.
Thank you. We've got a new stew for you all to try. I haven't seen you in quite some time.
Any bandits around since we left?
Please say no.
Wait, any bandits? Oh, no, not a single bandit since you left. I do believe whatever it is you done, you certainly scared them off.
The easy good old days. How have you guys been?
We've been great. As you can see, George and I are expecting a little one, and he helps me run the inn. Got my father's blessing, he did. Took a couple tries, but he finally got it. And George was just like, It's only because I chickened out a few times. He's a very intimidating man. And he just kind of like he brings over some parsnip stew, and floating majestically atop the stew, you see cabbage.
We cannot congratulate you both enough. This is fantastic news, and thank you so much for this soup. It looks beautiful.
Sad cabbage in the chat, please, for George, the cabbage
We don't
man.
have a happy cabbage. We need a happy cabbage now.
George, we've been gone for a little bit. Have you heard anything about what's going on in the world? We've been off still fighting things, and we weren't able to get out much, to say the least. We've gone on a campaign.
Where have you been that you would not know what's going on in the world? I wouldn't know where to even start. I don't even know how long you've been gone.
Deep in the wilds, facing off against beasts who do not so much speak the sort of language that might carry news.
Yes.
He's gonna make contact with Luden, who I know has been keeping careful track. 8
months. Get 8 months. 8.5 months. Give us 8.5 months worth of information, please.
His eyes get really big, and he's just like,
Cliff notes.
The only major news that I personally know of is the news of Lacambria.
I think that we could have done this, actually, is... What's today?
It's the 11th of Duskworn, which is about roughly a year.
Yeah, Luden kind of looks over to Samson, who said it was a month a day.
Okay. So could you give us a year's worth of clips, actually?
I'm sure you just want the most important, but like I said, Lacambria, it's actually now under the control of Digbrand. They have annexed the city. They annexed the city as the entirety of the council faced collapse, and of course, as did the economy with everything that had happened, with all the people below the city, and And Lord Gregor Rockbane, he presides over the city. It's under military control until order and balance is regained as structures are put into place.
I have never been more pleased. I am so absolutely delighted with this outcome.
Ludin just his fingers.
This is how Ermin died. It wasn't the 7. He went and tried to fight Gregor in hand.
Ludin's fingers just immediately kind of tinkle over all of the superpower Fey wine he has now, and he starts to go ahead and make a plan for later of what he's going to do to Gregor Rockbane.
But that's the only major news out for the past year. I mean, the small things, of course, and creatures rising and attacking on most roads. But that happens most everywhere. And there have that's the only news that's reached me. We are quite a bit away from major cities, so.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Oh yeah, thanks. I guess. How far away were we again? Like, was it like a 3-day journey back to Saltstone?
I mean, you can teleport, but you can teleport to Saltstone.
Yeah, we can just go there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I think I might have something waiting for me at Saltstone. Do you guys want to head back immediately, or?
I think we should finish this delicious soup first.
You eat up you have tried this soup twice. Once it was only a parsnip soup, and now it's a parsnip cabbage soup because it is the union of George and Saoirse.
Oh my god.
You all brought together.
Yes, we did.
I think that child should be
tastes
named
like
Georgia.
love.
Georgia?
Yeah.
We have brought so many people together. That is our thing. But Ludin also leaves like 10 gold on the table. He's all about.
Saoirse,
You guys need to expand.
Saoirse's standing up, kind of hobbles over, and she goes, "It's always a pleasure to have you all again. Business has been so much better now that no bandits, and my inn wouldn't have been anywhere near what it is now if it wasn't for all of you. And now there's a future for my little one."
Well, we're happy to help. Can we take some soup to go?
Oh, of course, and of course some of our famous walnut bread as well.
Thank you. That would be wonderful.
Sure.
Just don't let it be too long before you come back around.
We'll come back all the time.
Okay.
We
I'll
gotta
hold you
see
to it.
Georgia.
You got to see the little one. She does. She looks very she looks like she is about to give birth like any day now. Like she's about to pop. She's about to pop.
Per my new thingy, by the way, guys. I don't know who would see it, but every once in a while, a small ethereal rog will just pop his head out from behind my shoulder. And if I try and look, he's gone. And
an ethereal rog?
Yes.
Mountain notices and just
yes,
and every now and then he'll poke Praeria like look, and Praeria looks and it's gone and he'll be like
Ludin feels something, but he never can see it for right now anyway. But yeah, that's one of the new things that has happened since we've gotten back from the Feywild. There are quite a few that happened.
You get your soup to go. You get your bread to go. Hot walnut, famous walnut bread from the Wandering Walnut Inn. You have a few small conversations with Saoirse and with George. What they literally brought you all together was this inn.
I am going to, while people are eating soup and bread and talking about a baby's name, Georgia, I believe was what was pitched.
Georgia!
Georgia.
Georgia, right? For like
Georgia.
Yeah.
That's much cuter than Georgia, but
Real quick though, I don't think Eugene has seen the Rog plush. So can you show?
Please show off
was like,
Mountain.
Yeah.
Little tiny
Made,
little mushroom.
created, and brought to life, but by our lovely Danielle Lenoir, who I believe you are a VIP, Danielle. If you want to share your link in chat for all the wonderful things that you have created in the past, like Snonk, of course, that's another one of our favorites. Please do, and if you cannot share, you should be able to share it in chat, Danielle. But if you aren't, I will make sure that it is possible to be shared in chat.
Yeah. I pull Samson aside just very quickly. I don't know how many times a day you can do the plant thing, but we can also teleportation circle to get over there. So whatever is easiest for everyone.
Do it. I can do it one more time. I can do it. Okay. Literally twice a day. That's all.
Okay, fantastic. Love it.
Yeah. Like we can go a lot further with teleportations.
Okay. No. Sounds
we teleporting?
Walking through plants, or we teleport?
I'll use my 7th level spell, upcast it, to do transport via plants, and prepare for a long rest, obviously. But I can send this back to Salsa.
While he's trekking out and finding a tree that's big enough for us all to walk through, I don't know if that's to be a thick one. I am going to take a quick second to see, because I know they found me out in the woods near here, I think.
Yup.
There any snowdrops left? Did they? Okay. She just checks to see if they're still there.
It's the interesting thing is that it's as if the same path you followed. The exact same path that you had followed. Like you were there yesterday. And it's a little bit like it's a little bit unsettling, but also very intriguing to see like those exact flowers in a row leading back into the forest.
Yeah. You follow that long enough, you get to a boat that'll take you to Dawn's Rise.
You got to Don's Rise from a boat to here?
I mean, it's on another continent.
But like, is it a big boat?
Or... yes.
Oh, okay. I was like, she just like, I didn't know if you rode. I was like,
no, I am.
I know you're not the, you know.
Okay, thank you. But also, my siblings were also coming over to the continent, so I just, on a commercial ship, I moved. And then I just sort of walked into the woods from there.
It was cold. How far did you walk?
And she was like barefoot. Do you remember?
Yeah, I do.
How far is it from Sable to here?
I can show you the world map here, so you guys all can see.
I think half a continent.
She was just walking. Okay.
God told her to.
Yeah, she walked quite a bit. You are. Let me like mark it for you guys. You are essentially right. Right. Oh, can I not draw? Where is the draw? You are essentially about right here.
Oh
right now.
Goodness.
I thought that I was on a mission from God. It was just Levi fucking with me, but
okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're essentially you're right. I got that wrong. You're essentially right here, right now.
Oh, okay. That makes it a little better. But I was like, jeez, she 3 wise men it.
Yeah, because she would have came through Shepherd's Pass and from Sable. Over here, but roughly between Saltstone and Thrice.
Wow. Okay. Props.
Oh, it's a.
And now we could just teleport from plants.
It's very nice. I will say, absolutely.
All right, are you guys ready?
Yes.
Ian, are you ready to see Snonk?
Yes! Oh my gosh, I'm so excited! I bet he's been waiting for us this whole time.
Do you think he got married?
No? Wait, what? It's been like not that long,
I mean, it's
right?
been a year. Pigs grow up faster than even humans do.
It's been like a whole
acknowledge
year.
the ceremony of marriage?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't think there's any like girl pigs or boy pigs on Saltstone. I don't think there's any other pigs. So unless he got married to like a bird, I don't think he got married.
Would you give your blessing if he got married to a bird?
I guess if he loved them a lot, sure, but
We just like, you
he's
know,
still a baby.
we're so close. Let's just go. All
He's
this
still a
conjecture.
baby.
Like, why we keep guessing? He's right through the tree.
Okay.
I don't know because I'm all nervous. Like, what if I'm like a
You got
grandpa?
Come on.
I push Finn through.
You all walk through the second portal, leaving the Wandering Walnut behind. You arrive at Saltstone. The entirety of the keep is encrusted in salt and ice as winter's chill has descended once again with the turn of the season. Smoke rises from one of the two main chimneys, and it looks nearly the same as when you left, yet quieter. Perhaps it's the chill of winter, perhaps it's something more. And as you approach, you see the guards straighten up, their eyes get really wide, and they're like, "Oh, Lord Thorn, welcome back. And the party. I'll alert Sylvie of your arrival immediately.
Hi, thanks.
Yeah, much has happened since you left.
Wait, like good things?
Who is Sylvie?
Like, you know, the girl that was here before. She
Insight
served us
check.
at the table.
Well, I was about to say, Ludin and Samson, with your passive investigation, you notice the following.
Uh-oh. The following.
And I have messaged you directly.
You remember Sylvie? She was like running around worrying about everything all the time.
Yes, one of the Bobros was in love with her, I believe.
I don't know who that is.
With
Ralph. He did a dip.
who has high passive insight again? I believe it's
I think it's Finn and I.
I think it's.
Well, no, it's Finn, me, Akron.
Oh, I have a 22.
I have an 18.
I have an 18.
Finn, Prearia, Esperis, and Ludin. You notice that the guards are just kind of avoiding eye contact with Finn.
Yeah, Ludin will walk over to Finn, and he'll be like, "Hey, you ready? Let's,
I think so. Wait, why is everyone acting so weird?
Why is Sylvie in charge?" And I start moving fast.
Yeah. It's just right this way. We'll lead you inside, and they escort you into the foyer. As you enter, you enter the main foyer, and immediately are hit the very peculiar smell. It's not necessarily pleasant, but reminiscent of a barn.
Oh, thank Livy.
You immediately notice wooden gates, small, like, baby gates on the bottom stairs in the foyer, and there's a few more of these gates set in place that lead to the kitchen, and the feast hall, and the doors to the courtyard. They're wide open as well as the ballroom. More so, as you enter, you all immediately see a scurry of piglets scampering across the ground. 3 are chewing on the fringe in the foyer rug, which looks like it was partly devoured by moths. 4 more squeal as they roll around in the dirt of a broken vase in the corner. And you see 2 servants that look very, very, very tired, sweeping the floors, doing their best to clean up the messes, but the messes are made faster than they can clean up, and they just have dark circles under their eyes, and but when they see you, they kind of wide the, oh, Lord Thorn, welcome back.
Hi, looking at the piglets, like, where's Snonk?
Ludin immediately casts Speak with Animals and just screams, "We're back, Snonk!"
I'm just gonna be prestidigitating pig shit in the background.
The servants are like, oh, he's in the ballroom over there.
Servants. Okay. All right. We'll run over. Come on, Ludin, let's go. Let's go say hi.
You all enter the ballroom, and Snonk is no longer the moderately sized pig that you remember him as, but now a full-grown boar of a pig, nearly 200 pounds and 5 feet long. His double chin sags low, and the fat folds on his forehead roll over his brow. You see him snorting peacefully, asleep, surrounded by his harem of 7 sows. Surrounding them, a small herd of baby piglets. They slip and slide as they try to walk on the slippery, wet ballroom floors, the scent betraying the source of the wet liquid.
Hey, buddy.
Wait, is that Snonk? He's so big. Kind of rover.
Looks like Kingpin from Batman.
I think you mean Spider-Man. Kingpin is from Spider-Man,
Yeah,
but still hilarious.
Finn will run over and, like, drop to his knees by Snonk. Wake up, Snonk, wake up!
Snonk stirs and waking up, and as he sees you, Finn, he lets out a series of very loud, guttural, excited, happy squeals. He lifts himself up and tries to wobble, and he lowers himself onto your lap, crushing your legs.
God. How did you get so many girlfriends? I didn't even know they had pigs at Saltstone. Ludin, ask him. I can't talk to him anymore.
How you doing?
Hello, Berryman.
You know what?
Snonk, doing good.
I promised you some berries, but it looks like you
Snonk eat lots of berries.
Okay, Snonk.
Snonk was lonely. Snonk miss you all. Snonk sad. Snonk make happy squeals. Happy squeals make little snonks. Snonk make a big family and never be lonely.
I'm proud of you, buddy. As long as you're doing good, bro. Do you need Berryman anymore then?
Snonk always need Berryman, but now Boink and Snork and Kroonk and Hawk and Blub and Belch and Gnaw and Sniff and Snooze, and he begins listing out like if you let him go on, he will list out like nearly 70 names if you don't interrupt him.
Snonk, like, hey, okay, buddy. I'm glad that you found a family and happiness. But we're back now. Food Hand can't speak to you anymore.
Food Hand can't talk at all. I'm too busy laughing.
Yeah, you like those happy squeals, Danny?
What the fuck? I'm glad Ben can't hear this.
But yeah, so Luna will just be like, but how was it running the place, Snonk? being the
Easy.
boss.
I think he's been doing other things
Easy.
other than running Saltstone.
You know, all right, buddy.
Snonk is boar.
Yep.
I said pimpin' is in fact easy.
You know, this is a major responsibility of kings, okay? That's what kings do a lot. They make a lot of errors. So he's been doing his job.
He's not making a lot of heirs. He's doing it like Michael Scott. He wants to have lots of kids so that they all have to be his friend. Sounds like a Finn strategy. He's ending up just like his dad.
You know what? He learned from the best.
All right, buddy. I'm glad you're doing well. It sounds like you have a family to take care of. So when we go on this next big adventure, how about you still, stick around and take care of them? We have like one big thing left to do, okay?
Snonk is happy. Did Berry Man bring Snonk berries like promise?
Yep. And Ludin casts all the rest of his first level spell slots.
Ludin, what did he say? What did he say?
Oh, wait. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Do you not have that anymore?
No. It doesn't come with this.
Betrayal.
Ludin tries to cast Goodberry.
But it doesn't happen?
Nothing happens at all.
Snonk waiting. Where's Berry's Berry Man?
Ludin's trying. And he keeps trying. But nothing happens. And he's even gets a little confused. And he'll be like,
Snonk hungry, Berry Man.
Snonk, I will go get you some berries right now. And Ludin looks like a little holy crap, and starts to, he runs outside. He runs, doesn't answer Finn, it just immediately starts like thinking about his old spells and trying them, and I completely forgot that it doesn't have that. So.
When Ludin runs out of the room, Finn will just be like, okay, fine. And he'll just like lay on Snonk and like hug him.
And you just kind of like, cause he's a little bouncy as you lay your head on him, and Snonk he just lays there on your lap and cuts off all the circulation to your legs.
I didn't even know pigs could get so big.
I had to look it up. I had to look up how big he would get.
All of your very special friends are very nice looking too, Snonk. And all of your piglets.
The female, the sows begin to like stir a little bit of awake, and they come over and they just kind of all like begin to sit around you.
I love this so much. You have so many friends. I'll pet all of them.
Yeah, they basically surround you, forming it just looks like, have you ever seen like when walruses just kind of are all sitting on a rock and they're all kind of like smushed up against each other?
I am the rock. Come to me.
I guess
He finishes prestidigitating in the front hall there and kind of comes to the doorway and looks in on this weird hedonistic pig heaven. Makes eye contact with Snonk, looks at Finn, just going, yes, yes, across the face. Just, And she's gonna leave and go look for Zemlin or Cassius or somebody.
Ludin 100% just went up to the closest servant and was like, okay, do we have an orchard here? Or a grapevine play? Stop what you're doing. Stop what you're doing.
Okay. She drops
the
she drops the dustpan full of like pig poop.
That's
it goes
fine.
on the floor.
He didn't even think about it. All the berries. All of them. I need them.
She's looking side to side. She goes, he's ate all the berries.
No. No. You didn't save any berries.
Well, it's winter. We had kept quite a big store of fruits.
Where are the closest berries? I need them.
It's winter and it's...
You need to find some berries.
sorry.
No, you need to.
I don't know where any are.
You have to find them. Here, go. Don't come back until you find them.
Am I gonna get fired?
Not if you find the berries.
Wait, I have an idea. Dig out. I've got spicy mayo. I'll put it on the floor in front of them.
Oh, you'll just pour it all over the pig and lick it off each other.
On the floor in front of them in a ring.
That is exactly what happens. They begin to roll in it. They're licking it off of each other.
Everybody's happy.
Everybody's happy. It is a disgusting but beautiful moment.
It's a very specific type of OnlyFans. It's horrifying.
So we're gonna fund winning the 7.
How are the other servants responding to what they're seeing?
As the Lord of Saltstone has returned.
It's interesting because a lot of the servants are actually avoiding Finn. Eventually, Sylvie will call you all to the war room.
Okay, so I gotta go, but I'll be back. Enjoy more of this. I think this is all this jug can do of spicy mayo. So
he's just like his entire face is covered. He looks like he's got like rabies.
And Luden will be back with more berries. Bye.
Yeah, I know we spent a lot of time on the pig orgy situation. Have we seen like Cassius or Zemlin or Green?
Yeah, that's where Esperis did a quick, hey, Luden, what the fuck?
But the pigs are very important.
You would have been informed that they are all in the war room.
So why Esperis is gonna try to find somebody who looks like they're kind of in charge of the other servants, and just, we don't have to roleplay this out, but just have a frank conversation of, so why, when a different member of the family of Thorn, who is an adult human man, is here and could have been the Lord of Saltstone, did you continue to let the pig be the Lord of Saltstone? This was something that you decided to do?
Luden hears everything that Esperis is saying. He goes, hey, let's go to the war room. Maybe we can ask our questions there.
Why did you say yes to this order? You have your choices that you can make. You could have said no to the pig.
When you ask them, they all get really quiet and they don't respond to you.
Yeah, like they just pulling kind of, Esperis up the stairs.
They get really uncomfortable and they're like, well, you see, I believe you're needed. I have lots of chores to do.
Yeah, he'll pull her up the stairs. Be like, hey, let's just go talk to the Sylvie.
Is going on in this estate?
It's been a year, Esperis. Things change.
I cannot believe all these conversations that we have had where I have said, obviously we cannot bring the animals into the restaurant. And you're like, oh, what's the worst that could happen? Not you, but the other is like, what's the worst that could happen if you start bringing the animals inside? Look at this. Look at these.
Look at what? Fine.
We're going to the war room. I stepped in. Shit.
Well, you have magic that can clean it up. It's okay.
There's a barn. Let's just there's space for these things. So it's fine. Okay.
Head to the war room.
Let's go there.
All right. I think that is a good spot for us to take our break because a lot is about to be unfolded as to what has been happening this past year here at Saltstone with the 7, what everyone's been doing. I think this is a great place for us to take our break. And when we
immediately after the break, Finn and Esperis are going to break up.
When we get back, you're all about to find out a lot of info dumping as to what has been happening on the material plane while the party has been away. So we will see you all in a little bit. We'll be right back.
Lamentium, Floortide. These Zodiac-inspired powers and more await you in Stargazer's Guide to Aurora. Available on Drive-Thru RPG. Destiny is calling, adventurer. Look unto the heavens. Your story is in the stars.
Well, hello there. Of course you came to the grand dwarven city of Digbrand to see me. Ma Belle Pebblegrit, tale extraordinaire to kings, queens, heroes, and legends. Have you gazed upon my latest masterpieces? Yes, this one for you. Don't you see how it calls to you, speaks your name? You are gorgeous, darling. The colors, the line work, the gods weep in the presence of your beauty. No one has looked more stunning in a pebble grit design. Please, I cannot bear to gaze upon your perfection for too long. You can find this mesmerizing merch at inkinliar.com. Go and unleash your fabulosity today and help support Inkinliar. Do stop by my shop again. You simply must tell me about all that adventuring thing. Well, ta-ta, darling.
We got your dice vaults, we got your dice towers, dice trays, hero vaults, you name it.
Oh my!
Careful now, don't swoon into traffic. You can mosey on down to their website now. Use exclusive partner code LYRE10 to get 10% off your purchase.
What was that code again?
That's LYRE10, LYRE10 at 9realmsgaming.com. Hurry, they're selling like hotcakes.
Happy New Year.
And we are back. All right. You all make your way down to the war room. Let me get us centered here. As you enter the war room, and as you remember, I have activated, you can see the war room is down within the cellars of Saltstone, led behind a secret section of wine bottles, as well as the prison cells are down here as well. So, you all enter, and you immediately see a few familiar faces, some seated around the table, some standing. You see Sylvie. She is kind of twiddling her thumbs nervously, and she watches as you all sit down. You see Valerius, and he looks pale and solemn. He's quiet. He gives you all a weak smile before sitting down. He positions himself away from everyone, kind of close enough to the conversation, but near no one in particular. You see Kaya and Hennevi. And Hennevi, as Hennevi sees Ludin, she will kind of grin ear to ear and kind of rush over, only to stop very abruptly as if remembering herself, and she holds out her hand very professionally. Good to see you, Ludin.
Ludin will give Hennevi a hug. Like, good to see you too.
And she just kind of like clenches up for a moment and then just kind of relaxes and just hugs him. And just kind of like clears her throat. You see Cassius and Zemlin. Cassian in particular looks very out of sorts. He typically has that level of calm, and he looks a little perturbed with flecks of anger. And you've never seen him like this before. And Zemlin kind of keeps a hand on the back of his like an anchor. And as you all sit, Sylvie just kind of like shall we begin?
Yeah, before we sit down, I do want to run over and hug Cassius.
Cassius gives you a hug back, and even though he's irritated, he does kind of like break that anger, and he gives you a smile, but it's forced. Like he's upset about something, but he will hug you. And
then Finn will go sit down.
He's very quiet. He doesn't say anything.
I think Ludin will just stay by the door and just lean up against the door. He's interested, but he doesn't want to get comfortable for whatever is about to be told to him, if that makes sense.
Esperise is going to grasp all this, and she is going to gesture Samson to sit at a seat that is at the head of the table in some form, because he is the best tactician that we have. And and she is going to say, "Thank you so much, Sylvie. That would be fantastic. I would love to do some quick sort of housekeeping before we begin."
Oh my God, Esperise.
I know we all have a lot to say.
Housekeeping.
I want to know why the estate is in fear. What is happening?
Oh yes, I'm sure you're all wondering why I'm here, and Stuart Groon.
More than welcome here.
I'm not really cut out for this kind of thing, but much has changed since you all left. Stuart Groon, he died honorably with those who gave their lives to the fell of the Salt of the Sallows. And I just want to remind our audience here what you all decided while you were gone. While you were gone, you created 3 teams. Team 1 for the Salt of the Sallows. You sent Addy, Theus, Groon, Rue. You had Marbell, Pelblegrit, Uri's dad, Belgain, and Muddy build specialized armor, ammo, and weapons. You also sent Auroria's Blessing. You had a Team 2 for the Veil Walker. You sent Henavy and the Sparrowhawks. You sent Elhammer forces, Kaya and her troops. You also had them visit Niveau Maximum and Crick to see if they could help them with anything. You kept Team 3 for the Corrupting Morrow, the Twins, you all, Raymirith, Cassius, Zemlin, Cyprian. Just a reminder to everyone in the audience here. She talks about the Salt of the South, and she just avoids everyone's eye contact. And then she just kind of and Cassian is looking down. He's kind of chewing on his fingernail. He looks very angry. Belgain and Muddy and Maribel and Valerius were not on the front lines, of course. They handled arms manufacturing for those who confronted the creature, and they found it, the Salt of the Sallows, south of an island of east of Acacia, and Lord Rue, the beast was retreating back into the sea and chasing it back across the shallow reef south of the island. They had lured it there. It was a very, very smart maneuver, and there was a stretch of reef, a sandbar, but unfortunately the tides had turned and it summoned a hurricane. And the ship was losing altitude, and the beast set to retreat back into the deep waters. They were running out of time, and he knew the power of the core at the center of the ship, so he drove the ship into the beast, and Grom detonated the core as it hit. And there was no one left alive to pay the price, save for the reef, and it's now painted crimson with those that fell there. We're not quite sure what that price was, but the reef has been altered. I'm so sorry, Lord Thorn. You are sole master of Saltstone now.
No. Like, they didn't all die. They couldn't have all died. Not Rue. Are you sure? I mean, did you go? Did you see bodies? Did you see anything?
And then Cassian speaks up. I just sat here reading books, tracking lineages, finding rocks while others died. And he puts his fist to his nose, and you can hear his knuckles kind of cracking as he...
How do we know they're dead? I mean, we don't know that for sure, do we?
There was nothing left, and when we sent, the spell failed. There was there's a little bit more to the story, but Cassian kind of sits up and he goes, we found 2 more stones. The same kind of stones used to absorb power from the twins when they were reunited. The fractured pieces of Vera, one beneath Krygos Lake and another at Death's Door. We brought them to Saltstone and had kept them here. And he's avoiding all eye contact, and he grits his teeth. We no longer have them, though.
How long have they been gone?
Well, shortly after the Salt of the Sallows, roughly perhaps a month or so, there appeared to be a sole survivor from the Battle of the Sallows. Grun returned, at least we thought, heavily wounded, soaked through to the bones with salt and sand, and we took him in. And I should have known when he barely spoke. I should have known right then. The next morning the stones were gone, and so was he. Proud bastard left a note. And he just kind of pushes the note across the table.
I'm going to, as long as I'm within 5 feet of it, Esperis isn't saying anything. But are there any illusions? Is there any magic on this note, or is it just writing on paper?
Just a piece of paper. Just writing on a piece of paper.
What's it say?
It says, who would like to read it? I'll put it in chat.
I'll read it.
You will read it?
Yeah. Which chat are we going in?
I'm sending it to you directly. I'm going to put it in chat for the rest of our audience here.
Such delight to wear a dead man's skin. Familiarity makes men weak and unaware. Hope keeps them from questioning the truth. It was a delight to see my old friend again. I questioned whether or not to kill him, but seeing him suffer without his son is euphoric enough. Give your boar my regards to the 2 he'll miss, little piggies in a pie, screaming, squealing as they die. I do so enjoy a nice porcelet. I'll relish the flavor on my return trip. Thank you for the hospitality. X.
X.
Does the handwriting look at all familiar to anything that we have seen before?
I'm trying to think if you've seen handwriting from this individual before.
Or if something about, if I could do an insight check or something on the cadence of the way that he wrote this or something like that.
I'll give you an insight check.
Okay.
Anyone who would like to insight check this may.
Natural 20.
Is Finn in a space where he can insight check? How is Finn looking at this moment?
Finn isn't even... I don't think he's really present right now. He's staring at down at the table, just trying to wrap his head around what he's being told right now.
Yeah,
So we'll go over and put a hand on Finn's shoulder.
As Ludin reads the note, his ring starts to glow a little bit, and he'll use that insight to be a natural 20. So he can just figure out who the heck this dude is.
Awesome. Esperise got a 13. She is looking very focused at everything going on, but she is paying more attention to Finn than the piece of paper in this moment.
Okay. With your natural 20, Christian, the way he speaks, this X. Did it he? The way they speak, it's so familiar. Some crazy dialogue spoken like this in Sable? With Ermir?
Yeah, he figures.
Someone who got away. Do you know who?
What was his name? Best friend. Dick.
Not Micah.
No, not Micah. That it was the other dude?
The wizard.
The wizard dude.
Wizard who didn't cast a single fucking spell. I will
hit points.
Zevnik.
I don't know what.
Zevnik. The wizard from Hush's hideout that had hit points left but got away.
Ludin can practically feel the hit points.
One hit! Just one arrow missed, and it... Alright, yeah, so... Ludin just... I guess he says... He'll just say Zebnik as he throws the note back down on the ground. Or... Yeah, basically on the ground. It's a piece of garbage. It's trash, just like he is.
Has there been any movement from the House of Demise after this event?
Sylvia kind of leans up. I don't believe so. But there have been other news. We've been focused quite heavily on the Seven, as you all instructed us to be.
Thank you very much, Sylvie.
We hadn't been focusing really on the House of Demise, more on the Seven. And
Ludin
then
reaches into his bag, pulls out a mirror that we got in Elrix's house that speaks directly to the Demise family. Just push it to the middle of the table. And he just says, well, at least we can use this to find her. I don't know about Zevnik, but if any of the other magical people in here want to potentially find her, we might be able to find him, or at least information on what that house is doing, considering we now have 2 of the stones that will be used to raise Vera in their hands.
But the Salt of the Sallows is felled, so that is good. Of the 3 that we've discussed. Well, we've discussed one of the 3 so far. But
what happened to Muddy and Belgate?
Oh, they are alive. All of the crafters and artificers weren't on the ship, but save for Grom, because he knew how to work the core. He's no longer. But Muddy and Marbell and let me scroll up so I can tell you. Belgain. But Auroria's Blessing, Rue, Grom, Groon, Theus and Addy are all gone.
Okay, what about the second 7 that we sent you all on?
Well, for the one, the corrupting Marrow, I believe it is called, we've been tracking a series of murders across Auroria, Cassius and Risen were in the midst of looking through the bloodlines, as you said, as we were doing, and it didn't take long to put 2 and 2 together when we looked through some of the more ancient lineage texts in Nevo, and seems someone is murdering across Aurora. The last few murders dropped off near Sable. That's the last that we heard, which leads us into the corrupting marrow. We believe it's responsible for death's door to the north of Sable. And activity has spiked there recently. The outer edges of the canyon that were relatively safe and visited by researchers and those visiting the Shrine of the Gods are no longer. No one sets foot within miles of the canyon, as it's far too dangerous, and something else gathers there now, and we believe it is the corrupting marrow. As you all know, the Death's Door is a portal to the abyss, and hell only knows what you'll encounter there. Now.
Okay. Do you have any other information about anything else that's happened while we were gone?
Hennevi cuts her eyes to Kaya, and she shifts uncomfortably. Kaya stands up. There were complications with the Veil Walker. Well, they walk between the planes of the Shadowfell and the mortal plane. It is found and can be lured where the veil is the thinnest. Places of great death. Not by amount of death, but the pain of it. Spiritual turmoil. From the living and dead that remain. Abandoned places where the echo of humanity is but a whisper. There is a place within the Shepherd's Pass. Hennevi and I, we subdued a dark spirit who told us how the Veil Walker could be found and summoned. This knowledge gave us the planning and preparation that we needed, and we gathered our strongest Sparrowhawks, spoke with Lord Aelham, and negotiated for some of his forces to aid us. And we visited Nevo Maximum, spoke with Crick. He didn't know much about the Veil Walker, but knew enough about the mother to hypothesize this creature must operate in some similar fashion. He wasn't sure what. The mother with her larva, and the Veil Walker must have something. We returned to Shepherd's Pass, to an abandoned house of great pain, and we successfully lured the Veil Walker out. We thought we had summoned it. We believed it was called. And Hennevi kind of looks at Kaya quietly, just staring at her. And Kaya just kind of leans in. One of our own turned on us in the midst of battle, defending the Veil Walker, demanding us to stand down, and we were forced to flee. We lost more than half of our forces to the shadows, but we were able to capture the traitor. He's locked up, right here in Saltstone.
And he's still alive?
He is.
Any particular reason why? Have you gotten any information from him?
We have yet to...
Who is he?
Very well-known Sparrowhawk, moved up to the ranks very quickly. Bright young man. His name is Lucidius. Unfortunately, we are unable to get any information out of him. He's remained quite silent, unfortunately, and we have yet to pursue more dire measures to get him to reveal things to us.
Alright, cool. I rolled a nat 20 on deception, by the way.
Where are you rolling?
Name means nothing to you.
Yeah.
He's rolling in Forge.
Yeah,
Damn, with a
Forge.
+0. Jeez. So you
Can
guys...
I try to match that net 20 with an insight check? I have a 5% chance. I just want to try.
If you get a natural 20 and are able to beat Iz, sure, but good luck.
I got an unnatural 20, but that won't beat it.
Stone-faced.
Didn't say anything.
Because you haven't said that name in front of us before, right?
I don't think he has. I think he's only mentioned Logan.
I just said, I always just said my older brother. I think Uramir might have been the only person that might know his name.
Okay. Okay. Chill. Just checking.
Yeah.
Nosy sisterly duties. Okay, but it sounds like, with what's been happening while we are away, that even if we did not completely face the Veil Walker, we have the information to go towards it now, and the same with the corrupting Morrow. Is this understanding correct?
I believe so. There's much information to handle. Both of those of the 7 now, so yes.
Has there been time to be awake? For those lost to the Salt of the Solos?
There has. It happened roughly 2 months ago.
I'm glad.
Although there wasn't much, we did take some of the wreckage and buried it next to Revenir. Placed a headstone for Rue.
Thank you.
Do we need to go talk to this prisoner?
I think. Can we give it a day or something? Just got a lot of information.
This is best done in the morning, I think. If I may propose, if everyone is so comfortable, a path forward just for tonight. Samson, Prearia, I believe your attentions might be best served by speaking with Kaya and the rest here about our path forward to the corrupting Morrow and the Veil Walker and creating some impetus there. I would like a chance to talk to Zemlin on my own. Ludan, where would you like to serve?
I'll just be between anybody that needs me. Just let me know.
Excellent. Is everyone comfortable continuing this way until the morning when we speak with Lucidius?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Works.
Finn would definitely notice, and anyone with a passive insight above like 10 would notice Finn's name wasn't in there. Finn does not have a task. He can
grieve accordingly.
Yes. Given a quiet spot. But yeah, Espris will be pulling Zemlin aside at some point.
Ludin 100% is about to sneak down into the basement or wherever.
I mean, you're already in the basement, so if you look at the map on the forge, it is literally the holding cells that is literally like directly next to
I can't see. I have no vision in the forge right now.
Oh, you guys don't? I'm so sorry. Apologies.
No, we haven't seen anything.
Oh my gosh,
cool.
why didn't y'all say something?
Because we were looking at us. We look at each other like a meeting.
I am so sorry. My God.
It's cool. I just gotta have to talk to my brother, because what the fudge?
No.
Alright, cool.
I'm missing Esperis. There we go. There you go. Everyone's in there now.
Dope. Okay.
All I want to do with the rest of the evening is I want to talk to Zemlin at some point, and then later tonight I'm going to talk to Finn, but otherwise Esperis is staying out of people's way.
Ludin. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I know Samson and Prearia were tasked with talking to Kaya real quick, right? Before we all leave the meet, but I guess before we leave, can Samson already do that?
Yeah,
Since we have Maul
let's end with Ludin.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I think that'll be a good end for
So,
these
people-
conversations.
As people disperse and head out and priority and Samson standing there talking, I'm gonna gesture. I don't know if they're all sitting down too, but if they're not, I'm gonna invite them to. It sounded that there's a lot of people standing around, rubbing their faces, conspiratorially, and dangerous. And Samson's gonna say, "So what's the deal with Lacambria? We heard that there was a revolution. What's happening over there? Do we still have friends? Like, what's the deal?"
Oh, who are you talking to? Kaya?
Yeah, specifically, I would say Kaya, Hinnavi,
Okay.
Cassius, Zemlin, all of them, really.
There is a vie for power from various states, from Agubon, Sunspell. Of course, they are not necessarily as organized as Dickbrand. Of course, there was from Eldergard as well, but the people did not want to live like the Elderguardians under a dragon rule. So, Dickbrand having the power that it had, essentially, it took over Lacambria. It moved the military forces and brought order and chaos in some regard to the city. As you know, all of the council died, most of the council. As she looks at herself, I believe I was the only survivor, but that was not enough.
Did the council die while we were all on the plane?
A lot of the council died from oh wait, no, I'm sorry. Some of the council died, not a lot. However, with the lack of workforce underneath the city, it just completely broke the economy. And what she explains to you, the chaos that ensued as the blood of this city was gone, it was rebellion. Like she explains, there was rebellion. People were leaving in droves from the city. It was absolute chaos. And regardless of what wonderful spiritual things that you did put in place, it didn't defeat the fact that the entire blood and workforce of Lacambria was gone. And that just led to structural collapse. So people started leaving. When people started rebelling, the Crow's Bin started going into the more wealthier parts of town because guards were leaving, and like they couldn't control the people properly. So essentially, again, chaos. And so some of the members left and stepped down from the council because there was nothing for them to be able to. They couldn't control anything. So Dickbrand essentially swooped in and took control of the city. And right now, it is basically under martial law.
And who's in charge there again? No?
Gregor Rockbane.
Gregor Rockbane.
Whom you all know very well.
We don't like him.
No, you don't.
He's just a guy. Corvus was the guy we had a problem with. Gregor was just a guy who was rude to us, right?
He was doorman.
He was
Gregor-
doorman, yeah.
Is
Gregor-
Doorman in charge?
Gregor
Doorman is in charge.
He ripped off Samson's freaking horn.
Gregor
That was Corvus, wasn't it?
Gregor has also taken the place
Nervous.
of Belgain. Belgain is no longer a house of legacy, but the Rockbane name is now the 7th house of legacy.
And what are the Sparrowhawks doing now? Are they They will form some sort of revolution, or the gathering the Sons of Bouclier. What of the armies and the spies of the council? What is the state of the Sparrowhawk Society now?
Certainly after the Veil Walkers, we've lost many of our numbers. We took great care to attempt to bring down the Veil Walker. And as I've mentioned before, that plan was foiled quite conspicuously. However, we do not have the amount of people needed to handle both situations, and so we chose the latter. We chose to fight the Seven, because saving humanity was more important than the Cambria. It was a very difficult decision, but we had no other.
And Gregor has not promised troops to our cause.
No, he's
Can
not.
that be fair?
Gregor is more concerned with controlling the Cambria and molding it the way he sees fit.
And how does he see fit?
Military control is never brings about peace or comfort, as you can imagine. But it is the only structure La Cambria has right now. And with it being the only pillar, I suppose it works in a very unsettling way.
What of Tredillion, headmaster?
Last I heard, he was on an island with twins, awaiting
Still there?
Yes, as far as we know.
We're looking for Aria.
I'm sorry, what many things are going on in this room right now? If you could repeat the thing that I am being looked at for.
It is a lot of info dumping, so I don't blame you.
So much.
The last sentence, okay. About all the martial rule and things. Right, okay.
What of the rocks?
The
You had the
rock?
2 rocks, and they've been taken. Yes, by Zevnik.
Yes, it seems that they've been taken by Zevnik, who posed as Groon.
Do we have a lead on where Zevnik may be?
We only know that he is in line with Micah, of course, and Micah is connected to this Lilith Demise and this Cyprian, I believe.
Were there any reports on their whereabouts? Are we following them?
There aren't any reports on them and where they are. However, we do know that Mother Demise is not shy, and her estate is accessible. Apparently she throws an annual party.
Is it soon?
It can be, if it is a thing that you would like to pursue.
Mm-hmm.
Ray just like makes eye contact with Samson and like hikes up her opera gloves, like, let's get it.
She's very pretty. So I want to recap what you've told us.
It's a lot, I know. Go ahead.
The corrupting Morrow is at death's door.
Yes.
We both know how and where to summon the Veilwalker in the Shepherd's Pass.
You can
and also, there's a prisoner who was pro Veilwalker, right?
Yes.
And then
the Veil.
Go
The Veil Walker, essentially, I want to make sure it's clear, it can be summoned from the Shepherd's Pass, but also can be summoned from any place of great pain and suffering.
Like
We know a
Camper,
couple of
you know?
those.
Gotta get into that Undercity.
It's just like everywhere we've ever been.
Yeah.
And then we know that the stones exist. We know that Zevnik has them.
Yes.
And that Zevnik is working with the Demises. Have we heard of Cyprian recently? Any track on his whereabouts? And I've still got Cassian somewhat of the book.
Last we heard he was in Sable, but he grew quiet after the stones were taken. He doesn't... If he doesn't wish to be made known, he will make sure that no one knows where he is. He's quite good at it.
We are aware.
I think you all have done as admirably as anyone could in your situation. We have much to discuss on the morrow, or perhaps even the day after. I believe Lord Finn and I will need some time. Because I think everyone else has left the room, so it's just all the Prairie and I and them.
Kaya and Hennaby.
Yeah.
How's Luden looking? Just stone?
I think
Luden
left, right?
Luden already left?
Well, he would probably wait until everybody had left the basement and stuff like that. But he's not. He's so zoned out of this conversation right now. He could be looking forward, not hearing a single word that's coming out of anybody's mouth. He's just waiting.
He's just like Ty will glance at you and you'll be like,
yeah.
He has no idea what anyone's saying, but he's
That
nodding,
one word.
acknowledging. We all think he's hearing every word.
Yeah, he's brooding like usual. Just
nothing out of the ordinary.
Return to form.
Go ahead.
I was saying a true return to form for Luden.
True to form. I'm going to give a look over to Praeria that I imagine I've given her many times, as her person who talks to people on her behalf, just to see if they're just to check in the look that says, "Hey, do you have any other questions before I dismiss these people from your presence, my queen? You're the best that's ever lived." All that one face.
She kind of rolls her eyes, but like just shakes her head.
You have much to think about already.
We are going to discuss a little bit more, but you may all leave, and I dismiss Cassian and Zemlin and all of them, so they may go.
All right,
We'll
they will
congregate
leave
again tomorrow.
They will leave and leave you all to discuss things together if you so wish.
Her just kind of looks very introspective. She was very much thinking about everything that has just happened. Just keeping it in for the moment.
At this point, I guess Luden is doing the exact same. Just waiting on if Samson's gonna say anything or if we're good.
Y'all want to go check on Finn, or do we want to give him some space right now? Think he's gonna be fine.
I'm not the best to speak at all. I think that you guys are a little bit better at comforting people in these situations. Especially since the first thing I thought was see what Livia has done again. But yeah, I don't think he needs to hear that right now.
Yeah, I think that's a good call.
Yeah.
I will go.
And Prey just heads off to find Finn.
Luden will just sit down at the table.
Finn, I think, would find himself maybe on the roof of this estate, and it's like a garden area, right? And he's sitting on the edge, kind of just like with his knees curled up against his chest, and he's just staring out at the ocean, and he's got Revenier's diary sitting beside him, and he's just kind of quietly crying. He's got tears streaking down his face. And Prey, as you approach him, he'll just kind of like, oh, hi.
Hi, is there anything that you need?
I don't know. Not really. Maybe just like a hug or something.
She just like comes up behind Finn and like puts her arms around his shoulders and puts her head on top of his head.
I think with the hug, he's really gonna start like breaking down. He'll start actually like quietly sobbing and leaning into her. And he'll just everybody's dying, Prey. I don't even get to really know my family very well. Revenier died. Now Rue. Maybe Cassius is gonna die too.
I wish I could give you better words, but it isn't very fair, is it?
No. To be perfectly honest, I guess I feel kind of horrible and guilty. Because I feel a little... Yeah. I mean, like... At first, I guess I felt a little jealous. Because, like, we went to the Feywild and we got to, you know, save your family, which is great. I'm glad about that. I wanted to do that. It's good. And then we got to, like, meet Esperisa's family. You know, I don't know. I just thought, you know, on all of this, I was going to be able to meet my family too. And I have, and then they're just all dying. They're all dying like flies. And we sent them to that death. We sent Rue to his death.
You're not wrong. Your feelings, your words. You're not wrong. But I'd like to think you found more family than blood. And we're still here. But it is okay to be angry and sad.
I am angry. I'm really angry, and I'm sad, but I'm also glad you're here. I'm just scared, you know?
I think we're all scared. It's not exactly easy what we're doing.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like every decision we're making, every decision I'm making is just leading people to their death. I'm just trying to do my best.
Well, there is a lot more at play here than just you or just us. Death is inevitable. You can't put that on your shoulders.
But isn't that why we're doing all of this? To prolong death? So that people can live? I don't know. It also I just feel lonely, you know? I know I got all of you, but I haven't really heard from Levi.
Even since you came back?
No.
Do you want to reach out to him?
I still have my magic, but I don't know. Maybe I'll reach out to him after this. I've been really trying to read this. I just haven't had any time. He's gonna kind of glance over to the diary, the Revenier's diary. I think it's about time I just start, learning about my family. I haven't known anything about them at all, and I think a lot of it is in there.
Well, that's good. That is a lot more than some get.
Yeah. I think I want to take the night alone. Like Finn never says that. Never wants to be alone, so it's a very big change for him.
All right. And she just gives him a kiss on the crown of his head.
Thank you, Prey.
I hope that this brings you closer.
Me too.
We will handle everything else for now. Just take care of yourself, okay?
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
You begin to make your way back to your tower. And a servant stops you and goes, "Oh, my lord, we took the liberty of moving all of your things to the main chamber. Since you are now the lord here, this room belonged to Revenier and Rue, and now it is yours." And they lead you to a different room. And you walk in and you see paintings of forget-me-nots on the walls. You see shelves of books. You see a very large tub and a room divider that kind of hides it from the other side. And lots of dried flowers hanging from the ceiling.
I think at first Finn's initial impulse was to kind of protest, but because he really likes Rue's room, he really likes the library, and he feels familiar and safe in there. But he stops himself, I think, and he'll walk into Revenier's room, and he'll realize this is probably the best place to read her thoughts, is in the room she spent so much time. So before he opens her diary, I think he's just going to take a good hour or a few hours walking around and just studying each detail of the room, running his fingers along the flowers and trying to really kind of understand her in that way before he opens to the first page.
Make an investigation check.
Okay. Nine. You know what? I think I will add my D8 for Levi's thing, just to do it. Levi's devotion thing. So I think it's worth it. Okay, 9 plus 6, so 15.
I believe that's exactly. With your luck, you find a book that's kind of poking out a little bit more than all the others, on the far end bookshelf.
Finn will go over and take it off the shelf and open it.
Did not think that you would get this. Hold on, let me pull up the map for it.
All because of Livy.
I did not think that you would get this. Give me just 1 second and I'll pull it up. I believe it is the second floor. It is the second floor. You are in this room.
It's gigantic. Is this the one with the fountain? Oh no, okay. I'm like, oh my god.
This is the room that you are currently in.
Okay.
You have walked over to this bookshelf. And you have discovered, as you pull the book, the bookcase swings back and there are stairs leading down.
Finn's gonna like look over his shoulder as if somebody's in the room with him. Just be like, I know Samson told me to not do things on my own, but he's gonna walk down the stairs.
He's gonna walk down the stairs?
Yeah.
Okay. You walk down the stairs. Let me activate the second location here. You walk down the stairs into a beautiful, gorgeous cove. Carved where you see the waves and the stars just kind of echoing along the rocks within the back. And there's a hot spring that is half within the cavern and half outside amongst the rocks. And glowing flowers from the ceiling light this entire space. And as you enter the room, the candles of the candelabras flicker and begin and just sizzle, and they ignite and light. You see a private collection of wine, a table, and a wardrobe, but more specifically, a very special collection of old worn books on the east wall.
Finn will take a huge look at the room and kind of just stand there in awe for a moment before he catches sight of the books, and he'll go over to the old books and just start pulling them off and looking at the spines.
They have, looking at them immediately, they have been read multiple times. This appears to be Revenier's sanctuary. You see the books on this shelf are fairy tales. There's a story about how the sun goddess, or how the sun god fell in love with the moon goddess. And this tragic relationship of never truly being able to be together because the sun cannot shine when the moon is high. You've read, it's a very common fairy tale that you have read before. This would be like the equivalent of like Snow White in this realm.
Even the elves?
The elves? What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up on a very isolated island. Would they have known?
Oh, yeah, that's right. You wouldn't have read this story.
It would be
You are
to
essentially
Finn.
Harry Potter reading Beetle and the Bard right now. So you wouldn't have read this story. But these are all classic Aurorian fairy tales about love and friendship and heroes.
So Finn will gather up, he'll gather up all of the books in his arms. He'll put them by the hot springs. He'll pour himself a glass of wine. And I think he'll spend, well, is there anything else in the room that I should take notice of? Okay.
That's about it.
Okay. So yeah, Finn will take off his clothes and he'll settle into the hot spring. And he'll just take a deep breath and exhale. All the air leaves his lungs and he just feels so empty. And I think he's just going to take the whole night, to fill himself with all of this knowledge of his family. And I think as he does this, as he stops reading to take a drink, he glances over to his arm, which is kind of on the rim of the pool. And he notices his snake, which is normally there, is gone. And in its place is just Rue's ship.
going from one end of his arm to the other.
I'm gonna have to recover from that for a moment. Very, very sweet. And you remain in this sanctuary of your grandmother? Your grandmother, yeah. Your grandmother's sanctuary. Through a break of comic relief to which you didn't know Rue was conceived in this room. So. But you don't know that.
Is that in the diary?
That would have been in the diary, yes. You would have read the diary.
He's gonna, like, shut the diary for a good hour after he reads that part. Just be like, okay.
Just reads that part, closes the diary, stands up, moves one cushion over.
Takes the whole bottle and downs it.
All right. I believe Esprit had something to say to Zemlin.
Don't know if it'll be a super long conversation. I'm hoping it'll be short, but she's essentially going to take Zemlin essentially out of the little war room just to have a quieter conversation. In her letter that she left behind at Saltstone for Zemlin when we all left, she did, it was, I'm going to try to describe the tone. It's about as vicious as you can be while maintaining complete politeness. The letter was written to let Zemlin know about Asteria. I told you about this before, Lauren, so I hope, to let Zemlin know that Asteria was there and searching for Cassius's family line and everything, but to don't worry about it, keep an eye on it, don't speak to her, essentially.
Don't speak to Asteria?
Yes.
And that is essentially what happened. But she did keep an eye on it, and that is how they found the trail of bodies, essentially.
So essentially what Esprit is doing now is just going on a little walk. She'd just like to talk to Zemlin about Asteria, if there's anything that wasn't already shared, if we have any idea where she might be, and at what point I might be able to speak to her.
Zemlin begins to sign and begins to communicate with you, and the gem on her neck glows as she speaks. The last we heard of her, from what we gain, she stopped in Sable, and that is where the bodies stopped. We do not know if she's recuperating and she's looking for more within the city, but we have not heard she has killed there yet. But she is hunting down every last child of Cassius, sorry.
Understand. Have you been able to, in your research, find the children of Cassius before her?
She moves far too quickly. I'm not sure how she knows who to target, but the longer that we look in these tomes, by the time we find one, another is dead, and we are in this place of we want to move to action. We wish to find her.
I completely understand. If she is like me, in that her magic comes from within herself, not from a god or a book or a song or anything like this. It is fundamental to what she is. Do you know? My magic was placed in my blood by some god, still in the air who it was, but we have our guesses how green it may go. Do you know what kind of sorceress she is?
We have no idea. Only that when she kills, there is no trace of the body left behind. There is no blood, bone, nothing but dust.
Excellent. Thank you for telling me this. I will be there when we meet with her again. Will you be?
Am I needed? Because if I am, I will be.
Do you want to be?
You expressed that this is your friend, correct?
I think it would have been clear from the letter that Esperise does not like Zemlin very much. And that she feels some way protective over Asteria and that she has a relationship with her. There would have been some sort of outline of the time that she had at the temple and how they have that connection.
I will go where Cassius needs me. And I know that he will stop at nothing to stop her from shedding more blood.
Good to know. Thank you, Zemlin. We will let you know if your services will be necessary. And I'm sorry for your family's losses.
She doesn't say anything. She knows that you hate her. But it doesn't bother her.
Esperise will nod, take the information in, do like a purchase thing, and then she will go to the room that Finn and her used to sleep in. It is now just her.
Is there anyone else before we get to Luden?
I have one quick question.
Sure, go ahead.
Do we keep the Necronomicon book in the bag of holding?
Oh, yeah! Well, Luden has it.
Definitely in the bag of holding.
Is it on him right now?
Probably.
Bag of holding?
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep my arrows in there too because my thing doesn't carry all my arrows.
The Esperise will go to the room that used to be hers and Finn's, find him not there, respect that he needs his time, and then this will probably happen next session. She's gonna wait in Luden's room for him to come back.
Sounds about right.
I'm gonna give Luden the old pat on the back as I leave.
Yeah, Luden's just gonna still sit there, holding his hands just to his face.
Wait, you alright, buddy?
Yeah. It's just a lot. We have to go kill another 7. We lost a lot of people. It sucks.
Thought you'd be more worried about the Cambria. Did you ever go visit there when you were a kid or anything?
Not when I was a kid.
Not from exactly there, but close, right?
No, didn't really leave the farm much. I feel like we can take care of the Cambria after all this is over. The 7 are just eating up here, you know? Just so close to being done. And to come back to see all of our friends or allies. Plus Ermir's gone. It's a lot. Just need to, you know.
Yes.
I'll take a night. Thanks for checking in, though.
It's so sad. Here we are on the brink of the world falling apart. And I don't know. Big Red left a bad taste in my mouth. And now here they are leaving there and starting a civil war when the world is at stake. Just.
Yeah, Luden will take out one of those vials that he has of the wine, put it on the counter, and he'll be like, I feel like you're the only person that I can talk to about this. If I don't make it out, That is for Digbrand and all of its leaders. It's the one thing that I can do for Ermir that I couldn't do when he was alive. One drop is all it takes, right?
We can make it work. Maybe we'll get more. Look, I'm a problem solver. I can help you out with this. No problem. But yeah. You'll get through it, buddy. I give him a pat on the back and I leave him alone so he can be sneaky, rude, and sneak away and go talk to his brothers from down the sea.
Yeah. So Ludin will probably wait a good 15-20 minutes until he knows no one is down there. He'll walk over to the cell. As he walks, when he gets to an archway or any type of doorway that's like less than 20 feet in diameter, he's going to cast silence in that doorway and keep walking, just so he can have a truly private conversation with his brother.
Okay.
And he will continue walking forward. And the whole way there, his emotions are vacillating. Like, he is, one moment he's almost ready to cry, another moment he's furious, another moment he's just numb. And by the time he gets up to his brother, I think it feels like he's walked 20-30 miles. Just, he's exhausted. And he just goes up to the front of the bars, and he just looks for a second, and what does he see?
You see, sitting in a corner in darkness, the silhouette of a figure. Swollen eye, bruises on his face. What does your brother look, outside of being beaten to hell? What does your brother look like, Ludin?
Yeah. So, the last time Ludin saw him obviously isn't what he looks like now, but I would think that his hair is similar to Ludin's. The dreads that go down his back, and they're braided into a ponytail. His eyes are a little darker than Ludin's. Ludin's eyes were hazel, his are dark brown. He's a very built man. I mean, regardless, our father was very muscular. I mean, all of us, I assume our family, when we started at least, were marshals or rogues, those types of things in our household. He's a good 2 to 3 inches taller than Ludin. What I would have imagined him wearing or having somewhere on his body is that same symbol that's tattooed that on Ludin's face. That was the last symbol that he received from both his dad and his brother. So it's either tattooed on him or he carries a pendant of it somewhere. Definitely somewhere that no one would be able to easily find unless they searched him. So it might not be on him at this point in time.
He probably has that pendant.
Yeah, his eyes are, I would like to think that they're weathered at this point.
They're swollen for sure.
yeah, definitely swollen. He definitely looks sad. And by all means, he should be attractive, but the air about him, it doesn't match the same type that Ludin has, but it seems like he's either lost something else of his own, or he's been looking for something himself. And I have no idea what that is. It could have been Ludin, it could have not been Ludin, it could have been quite literally anything. But
guess you'll find out.
Yeah, for one thing's for sure is that Their father is with neither of them, and there's a story behind that. So when Ludin walks up to the bars, he'll take out his water skin and just throw it in to his brother.
He is currently facing the wall as you're like right here, and he's not looking at you. And he looks over, like as that kind of hits the floor very abruptly, he looks over and looks down at it. It's dark in here.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine that you're probably in shadow.
Oh, of course.
And he looks down at the water and he looks up at the silhouette. There's no recognition. He can't tell. He can't really see you right now.
Yeah, Ludin will just go, "Hey, Lucy. It's been more than a long while. I never stopped looking for you. Or Dad, for that matter. I got a lot of your notes explaining how you're gonna come back to me and Mom. You guys never did. Obviously, we have so much to catch up on, but for the love of God, please tell me our dad is not a 7.
You watch as Lucidius stands up, takes a few steps forward, and you notice that he has no shadow.
Well, Ludin still gets pissed off and punches the wall.
And he says yes.
So, you know Mom's dead, right? Why didn't you come back? I got letter after letter saying you would. You know, I was raised... No, you definitely have to know, because I mean, Dad knew. I was raised by... the devil, basically.
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Yeah, try. Come on.
We were gonna come back. And then... he looks like he places his hands on his head and his temples, and he goes, I began to forget. I forgot everything. I forgot home. I forgot Mom. Forgot everything. I don't know why or how, but I did. It was like she and you never existed. And it was just me and Dad. And a few months ago, they all flooded back. Felt like my brain was split in two, and I didn't know what to do. I did the only thing I knew. Dad wasn't around anymore. He disappeared. I went home. And I thought you'd be there. I thought she would be there. Why wouldn't you be there?
Because it's been 20 years, that's why.
All I found was ash. Something has been messing with my mind. I don't... believe me or not, I would have never left both of you. We would have never left both of you.
Okay. Well, that's kind of a moot point now.
What do you mean?
I wanted to find you guys immediately, you know. I've been looking for a good bit. You know, after a while, I started to realize blood isn't as... They say blood is thicker than water, but, you know, I don't see that anymore.
I looked for you, Ludin.
Mm-hmm. 20 years. What were you doing during that time? Did you go off and have a family? Did you go off and live a normal life? You know, that home you spoke of, the reason I burned it down because it was my prison. Lucy, I couldn't leave that place for over 18 years. And I didn't have you there. I didn't have Dad there. I didn't have Mom there, apparently, either. It was me and my jailer. So you might have looked for me for a couple of months. But for all I can feel and know about you, I feel like we're meeting for the first time. And how can I call a person I just met my brother? Does that make sense to you? That pain that you felt for a couple of months, I've been living through hell on earth ever since the day you left. That's what I've been going through.
I'm sorry, Ludin. All I can say is it felt like I had no control over myself. And I woke up from a dream, and I know that's not the answer that you want. I never wanted to leave home. I never wanted to be a sparrowhawk. Felt like I had no control over my legs.
It's fine. Let's not even... It's moot. It's done. Now, what about Dad?
He disappeared.
When? How? Why? People don't just up and disappear.
You would think. But he did. We were hunting. There was a house, and everything went dark. Felt like the earth was splitting in two. I remember him speaking to something. And then I woke up somewhere else. And he was gone. And ever since then, this shadow has come to me and speaks to me. It claims that it is him.
Ludin looks
and
around.
I believe him.
Where is he? Now, when was the last time you spoke to him?
Shepherd's Pass. I'm not going to kill him, Ludin. I won't kill him. I thought you were dead. I went home. Gone. He was all that I had left. I will not apologize for trying to hold on to the only thing that I had in this world. And I will not kill him. I will do everything in my power to make sure that he survives. You can't do that. I know what you're thinking. The nobility and you cannot kill him. Any of you.
There's nothing about nobility, Lucy. The fact of the matter is, if I don't kill him, he kills my friends. If I do kill him, I kill my father.
We can save him. There must be a way to save him.
There's no time. The world's crumbling.
There must be a way. You apparently know these people. You're free to walk. You have resources. You must be able to do something.
Look, I can try. I really can. But one thing's for certain, Lucy. If my friends don't help us, or don't want to help us, they're going to kill our dad.
His arms kind of fall away from the bars between you and him. Does his life really mean that little to you that you would give it up so easily?
I have known strangers longer than I've known our father. Does that make sense to you?
And I've known him longer, and I know that he does not make decisions lightly. He would not do this recklessly, whatever it is, whatever deal he's made, whatever he's done. He would not come to me. He's in there. I know he is.
And if you're wrong?
Then I'll die trying.
Fine. I didn't plan on killing our father anyway. But you need to hear me. If he attacks any of those people upstairs again, I will put him down.
He's not a wild animal.
If he touches my friends, I'll treat him like one. Now, I'm sure this isn't the happiest reunion, or the thing that you would have expected when you saw me again, but it is what it is. Now, tomorrow, they're going to come down here, and they're going to talk to you. And, I don't know how much you're going to be able to keep from them. I don't see you being able to keep much from them. Ludin throws him some thieves' tools.
He watches it kind of clatter to the ground and slide over, and he looks up at you. He takes a step backward to pick them up off the floor.
You will contact me again if you get out of here. And you will give me information on our father. And if he touches anyone, I promise you, anyone, blood will only take you so far, Lucy. This is as far as it can take me.
So this ends here, then? This is as far as you're willing to help me.
You have to understand, you're not giving me anything but a word.
Okay, I grew up and I was told that authority, people are supposed to be honest. They're supposed to act a certain way. But Lucy, every single step that I've taken outside of that prison, I've just found that the world isn't that way. Everyone lies. Everyone. And when you try not to lie, you just lose your dad. Okay? You tell one, you just lose him. And he never comes back. He never explains why. I've had friends killed because of lies. I've had friends in prison because of lies. How can I know based on your words? You just woke up yesterday? That you think that you could save our dad? And you're telling me that this little bit that I can give you with this entire ability to escape that I'm giving you right now isn't enough? What more do you want from me? Do you want me to go upstairs and slit everyone's throats? I'm giving you a chance, which is more than anyone has been giving us, okay? So go out there and try and bring him back. Because God knows, no matter how hard I try, I can't. I can't bring you or him back. Or Mom, for that matter. This is your chance, so good luck.
He slides the tools underneath his belt. Like within his shirt, so that they're not visible. He doesn't say anything else. His eyes swollen and he looks at you, and there's a flicker for a moment within the flames around. And you see his eyes are a little black. Just like yours were.
Yeah. Ludin walks to the door, and he begins to enter the sphere of silence, and he dispels it. And he'll turn and look at his brother one more time, and he'll use another spell slot to make another one. He'll remove his short sword, put it next to the door on the way out. He'll walk back out of that that sphere of silence, and he'll just straight up look at him and said, "No one dies, but you defend yourself, and you keep running, and you live, and you find him, and you figure out what the fuck is going on, okay?"
He nods very solemnly.
Ludin walks back up to the room, or walks back out, dispels silence, and he's gonna just get out of eyesight and earshot and just sit down, and just hands on his head and get up. He probably hears his brother fiddling with the lock, and he doesn't want to hear that anymore, so he just runs up, and he doesn't go to his room. He goes outside, and chills out on the beach for just an hour or two, maybe 3, before going back up to his room. But that's what he's doing for the night.
And that is where we will end tonight's session. Hot spam. Well, let me thank all of the people this evening. First, Danielle and Noah, I know that you had some internet troubles. You're probably not here with us, but thank you so much, Danielle, for the 22-month streak tier 1 sub. Thank you, Heloidy, for the resub. I am still emo over the past episode. Hawkeye raided the raid for 5 viewers. Luckjaw for the follow. Try J Gaming for the follow, Blackwater D&D for the follow as well, and Misty Mountain Streaming for the raid of 21 viewers. Thank you so much. What an episode, guys. Oh my gosh. Wow. Thank you all so much for joining us this evening. If you would like to join us again, Fate's End is every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. However, Daniel and I are actually going to be out of town next Monday, so there will be no Fate's End next Monday. We're still having Witchlight Wednesday, right?
We're not having Witchlight this Wednesday.
Okay.
Because Alistair is going to be on a boat with these two. They're all going on a boat, but we will be back the following Wednesday. So we'll have a little bubble.
I was double checking because I know a lot has been about Alistair recently, so I wasn't sure if we.
He's a beautiful man. he's just fulfilled his destiny of fatherhood and killed his patron. We're having a great time.
But on for the next week, we have our Iron Valor show, which is every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Deanna DMs it. You can see Raina and Danny on that show as well. On Iron Valor, we play through Wizards of the Coast modules. We are currently playing through Wild Beyond the Witchlights, which is reaching its pinnacle, which is very exciting.
They're in the final stretch. They're, I want to say, mid-boss battle right now. They've hit a point in the boss battle, and they're deciding whether or not they want to keep fighting or try something else. But we are very close to the end here. We are finishing off the final arc of the Wild Beyond the Witchlight, so definitely come join us.
Which is very exciting. And if you're new to the stream, Iron Valor is a little bit different from Fate's End. You can actually interact with the cast on stream. If you've been watching this entire night, you've been earning points, Valor tokens actually, that you can redeem during Iron Valor. So you can actually give players luck, you can bless the party, you can curse the DM and roll on the curse table. Tons of fun, and yes, you can do that all on Iron Valor on Wednesday. So it's much more interactive. You get to be a part of it, and yeah, they're all showing all their points that they have right now. Usually we get, when I explain this, somebody does a roulette and puts all of their points in. I don't know if anybody's done it yet.
Daniel just won.
Did he just win?
I have never won on the roulette.
Daniel, I think Daniel always goes all in every time I bring up the points when I mention Iron Valor's on Wednesday. But that is Wednesday, but not this Wednesday. So no Iron Valor this Wednesday, no Fate's End this coming Monday, because Daniel and I, of course, are going to be out of town on a boat. And yeah, so you'll have to see us the Monday after that for what's coming next on Fate's End, because good golly. But yes, we have started the final arc of this campaign, and it is coming to a climax. So very exciting. Thank you all for joining us this evening. We hope you've had a wonderful Monday. Yeah, thank you all so much. Other than that, we're going to do some raiding and continuing to spread the love within this wonderful community. We're going to be raiding, it looks like, Daniel, am I getting that Magi RPG?
They're on their finale for Witchlight.
Ooh,
Maggie.
are they?
Maggie RPG.
So we're going to be raiding Magi RPG. Make sure to give them some snog hearts, some huzzah mugs, and tell them Ink and Lyre sent you, and just continue to spread some awesome love within this community. We will see you next time for some more Fate's End. All right, guys. Bye.